in fact, the exact same as that last one.
Yeah, well, we always know that Anubis gets banned from both of these teams. I'm surprised that didn't get floated at all. The other surprise is that Inferno has not been picked. Inferno is liked heavily from both of these squads. So we go into Ancient, we go into Dust2. So, look, there's going to be a bit of history between the players. You're right about the head-to-head. You've got some ex-teammates going up against one another. I just kind of want to get the feeling from the open qualifier run that Elevate had, whether they can push on and kind of at least replicate what happened in the last series in giving the favorites a run for their money.
Can they do what Galaroys could not a moment ago? I guess we're going to find out as we get started with Ancient, our first map in the series. Are you backing LP? And if so, are you going to go to 2 or 3 maps?
I'm actually going to back Elevate 2-0 for some reason. The idea of players changing all the time, Brahino coming in and knowing that Misfit is here as well, I don't know. There's too much instability for me on this one.
Yep, that is exactly what I was thinking. So yes, I'm going to go Elevate as well. They're on the T side starts. And they're on their own map, pick of Ancient. Pistols live for our second series of 4 for the day. Zeddy will lean in. ZMB is going to try it and resist it. Just spotted players there. Smoke goes down towards the ramp entrance. Lash will get that first kill. CK's out with a decent responsive. Brunino is backed up in the corner towards Wood. Double kills found. Can't quite connect the triple. He's done well enough to try and reduce the numbers, but it's still up by a man here for Elevate.
Yeah, aggressive peek out towards Long, does spot one CT. They still don't know about the wraparound that's coming in towards Cave, and rather than just playing defensively, they want to put some pressure on this CT, who Hap is just kind of trying to play time, wait for Leo Monster to come out Cave.
He tries to strike, but misses his chance. Hap needs to get that headshot quick, not going to happen, especially as Leo Monster goes down. He's not going to have a chance at the retake of the 1 versus 3. He'll take that first player back at least. Second flicks do connect together in the end. He's refacing towards the B bomb site when realistically there's not enough time for the defuse here. He's going to fall back, keep his Kevlar, and Elevate will take the opening round of the series.
Yeah, Elevate has been smashing teams in the open qualifier to get them to this closed qualifier and hopefully try and go on in the bracket. I mean, the round of 32, they had a 13-3. The round of 16, they had a 13-7. And then in the quarters, the only best of 3 that they had to play, 13-3 on Ancient and 13-3 on Nuke. So they're driving into this competition off of the basis of winning what? The Gamers Club June event and of May. July, they're waiting for their winners matchup that's going to happen in a couple of days. I think the results look a lot better than where their VRS ranks them. I mean, outside of the top 200, you don't expect that for a team that's at least playing on HLTV quite frequently.
Maybe that underratedness will give them something to shoot up for. And here and now, Elevate just hold a small lean as they take on the force buy of LP. Boss only in for Hap. Not much else.
Not much happening. You've got a situation here for LP where they're not making any info plays on round 2. They're sitting back being very defensively, which tells you at some point they're going to have to retake Cave or they're going to have to retake Ramp. You won't often see a team being stagnant for the entire round. ZMB with another resmoke. Now this is going to start shifting in the bomb going up shelf and into Donut just because of the space that has already been created towards that area of the map.
The first kill comes in for Elevate quickly as Leo Monster gives up too much towards red. As you mentioned, A site being open means the bomb was going to commit. No concerns, no problems. No real resistance and no real retake for LP. They're backing off already, playing the passive kind of game here at the CT side.
And thinking about the conversation we had about Keydstars, I think you can say the same thing about Elevate. It's great to see them back in CS because it's an iconic organization. I mean, I remember way back in the day, Elevate in the NA scene, mate, they had Rush, they had Elige, Daps, even NAF. Yeah, we might be talking 9-10 years ago, but to see these names and these brands that we're familiar with, we get a bit of nostalgia and they're still here, they're still funding teams, I love it.
Well, I certainly can't complain with more involvement in the scene. Of course, this current roster part of the Brazilian 2021 return. Within very, very new circumstances, all things considered. Not quite new to success in the open qualifiers and the qualifier circumstances. Now transition that over to close qualifier status. Here and now. And currently on the front foot, not much that LP can do to resist outsiders, keep these upgrade weapons into what would otherwise be a harsher eco, seeing what kind of damage they can do.
Yeah, LP, with this play out towards A main, tells you at some point in the round that Leo Monster probably will try and press on, try and get out towards elbow. ZMB with the HE placement looks pretty good against the MAC-10, but PNC tries to evade as much of it as possible. They're doing a lot of time stalling with the util towards cave, just like they did in the last round. The problem was the T's just started gaining mid quite easily because of the heavy stack on B, and then that's how they could just basically not run into the trap at all.
No traps to spring on the A-bomb site. Again, pretty opened up. Hamas tries to get back here to stop them and actually does get away with a decent kill. Hap starts things off. Leo moving on to Zeddy's position. Oh, what a flick that is. And a 5-on-3 ensues. Is this the sign of something more deadly here? Hap tries to make more out of it. Not able to do so with that Hamas in mind. ENC is going to find a kill out towards red, but no more than that. Brunino's taking him back. Bomb needs to get planted here for Lash. Leo can't deny it. He'll try. Take one down. Just damage being done to CK. He's out. Taking another teammate out instead. And now he's surrounded. Quick bust. 1v1. SMG and Brunino will come in to punish. And in the mix, the Chaos LP can steal around.
I'll tell you what, considering that's a 2v4, that's a bloody good effort there from Elevate. But there's nothing to work with in that round. Where do you even plant? You've got players coming in from CT, players coming in from Brokey, players from A main. You should not even be able to get a single kill, let alone get the bomb down. So the fact that you've actually been able to force it into an economical issue where it goes into a 1v1, that's a great recovery. Now, of course, it's never ideal to be losing a round to limited upgrades, but you can force the reset straight away. AK is being held in from Brahino. We've got an AWP on the upgrade to come in from Misfit. And I think that's the discussion, is that we keep changing the AWP. I mean, BSD is the main AWPer, but he's not here. He seems to be going elsewhere. Well, then you need to bring in Misfit, who's the AWPer from Flamingo.
The M4 of Leo Monster tries to strike first. Hap is again quickly involved in the early kill. Counts, he's able to even transition to a second player as well. Does lose ZMB in the exchange, but 3-on-3, and he makes it a 3-on-2 with 3 kills to his name. Lash and Zeddy quickly going to move on towards the A-bomb site. Still got Hap to find. He's still on 79 points of health. Can't deny the plant, but he can set for the retake. And actually, Brunino can find an angle instead, so it's all Zeddy now. 1v3, fights on that first man. Both players inbound from CT spawn is expected to move. Find a gap. Misfits AWP has him on lock and gets his first kill of the game. His LP equalised.
Now, we know that Ancient gets a lot of play rate from both of these teams, but when you look at the HLTV win rates, it's very awkward. LP have got, what, 4 wins, 8 losses in the last 3 months, Elevate 1 win and 5 loss. And look at both of these teams with where their map pools lie. We know that Elevate picked quite a lot of Inferno, Dust2, little bit of Ancient. For LP, they picked quite a lot of Inferno, Ancient, bit of Nuke. So you've got some sharing maps. You've got some sharing territory in terms of what's at least liked in best of threes.
Elevate now on the basic pistols should give LP trying to take some advantages now. The Eagles only available for 1 man. Blocks for everybody else. No utility or Kevlar investments. Still, CK's going to find the kill on Leo, so that's a start.
I'm never always a big fan of overly aggressive moves on Ancient when you're up against limited buys, and that's certainly one of them. I think right here, you just got to stabilize. Don't get too aggressive, because that's when the upgraded pistols do more damage than they should do.
And the Glocks even do a lot more damage than they should do as well. Brunino on 1 point of health. Lash just took him down through the wall. Shots missed from Misfit Hap. Trying to see if we can bail him out. Oh, what? Okay, all right, fine. We're good. We're good. No worries. It's been found. Zeddy's back's turned, so he'll lose his life. And Lash lash out against the CT Forces. ZMB, first port of call, and actually does get the kill. So cash bonus of the bomb plot is going in for more, though. Hap was seen. Lash now needs to go for this plant down. HG's coming in a little bit late. Still at 1 point of health, though. Doesn't get away against Hap. LP will secure the round, but Elevate will secure quite a bit of damage and a cash injection.
Well, I think we're going to have an entertaining game of Counter-Strike. I mean, right there, that's 1 Deagle and 4 Glocks getting 3 kills and a bomb plot. That's crazy. How much investment is brought in and just how much rewards is given out. Elevate will look at things at the moment and say, okay, let's start getting a feel of our T side. Let's start getting a bit of an idea on how we want to work some of our rifle rounds. Now, that series that they had in the open qualifiers in the quarterfinal was a 9-3 T side half. Now, you expect a good pass score with how their Ancients looked recently. I'd say 7. If you can aim for 7 T rounds, that would be an expectable goal.
Brunino just got out of the way. BNC lost his teammate. Do they even know about this player at Wood? No, they don't. Kill found. 5 on 3. Elevate. Struggling to really maintain themselves here in these rounds. It's damage being done towards Brunino, but he's still alive. Elevate yet to take a pick in this round.
A Misfit, 2 uphills in 2 rounds. There's a little bit of a spam from CK Zal to at least find a return. The factor is, though, you've got Hap that's being aggressive towards A main quite consistently. And what that will tell is that they can hold mid quite lightly and then just stack up mass players towards B. Timing is a bit awkward there from ZMB as he starts to move. AWP at least holds on B.
Frag on. So he goes out down. Misfit trying to lean forward. Zeddy's moving up towards short. Leo Monster's been caught off guard. Caught looking the wrong way at the wrong moment. Missed up shot from Misfit. Leaves Hap now to do it all. He's been the heavy lifter so far in this game. Top fragger at 8 kills. Now needs to get 10 on his board if he wants to clutch this 1v2. It's got no smoke. Got a kit and a flashbang. The bomb planted open on short means the Hap's got to extend and try and fight Zeddy. He's ready for him. He takes a triple instead as Elevate. Well, you're all right, Dwight. They're going to give us a game, quite an interesting game, an entertaining game of Counter-Strike.
Well, LP will be frustrated at themselves because there's a little bit of a lurk smoke out there on Cave, and it's a really good timing and exploitation to be aggressive through short. It's being held, but the timing's off, isn't it? Leo Monster's a little bit wary about Red Room, maybe because of Hap coming in on the backstab. He's just a bit skeptical. And it's as soon as he looks away, that's when they strike. If you are LP, though, I mean, that was a sitter of a round. That should have been an easy closure.
Significant damage to the economy state of LP. He's elevated with a reset opportunity, a serious reset opportunity. This buyback only featuring 2 rifles, one which is an AWP on Misfit. He does strike. Zeddy's down first. Elbow negated on Elevate.
Well, Misfit's doing a good job with these opening picks with the big green, and now even bringing it over towards this B bomb site. Leo Monster's been able to block them. Playing anti-flash, expecting a pop through this smoke.
Nice HG sent towards the T side. Look at the damage done to the Misfit there. Leo Monster can still mow down 2 to that MP9. AK picked up. Sprays will continue, but Elevate kind of been locked out here. That smoke seriously in the way will start to fade. The damage is done. The AKs need to go special, and well, there's no AKs left on the T side. Lash has got to save his AWP.
And this might be a bit of a tough game to call tactically for BNC, because unless you follow the local scene, you probably wouldn't realize that he used to play on this LP team. When they were known as Uno Mille towards the start of the year, he joined them. And he was involved in the project till March. He was kicked and he was brought away to make room for both Hap and BSD at the time. So the idea that you used to call for them, you're now going up against them with a slightly different variation in a really important qualifier. And unfortunately won't die after time for Lash, so it's a good sign for the T side. Hap, if he was a little bit further back, he probably would have been able to catch him and make that economical damage really effective. But yeah, ex-teammates going up against one another.
And right now it's the LP squad that are coming out on top of that rivalry. Tactical pause called in by Elevate. So they take a moment to ease off a little bit. They've got, well, probably looks to be an eco round here. Maybe some upgrades on the high rollers of BNC and Co, but you are mostly just looking to save into the guns in the next.
I'm just even looking at the recent form for LP. 2 wins out of their past 6 best-of-3s on HLTV for a team that's just outside of the top 100 on the VRS. You'd expect a little bit more grit from them, a little bit more consistency. Yeah, they've been getting into playoffs, some top 8s, some top 4s. But where's that deep run? Where's that run where they contest a title or maybe upset a strong squad? I'm wondering if it could be here in the qualifiers. Certainly not in this game, but when they get into stage 2, if they can. You always get a feeling that one of these squads is going to be able to pull off a plucky upset. It's just about when it comes.
And they might have to come in the second round of stage 1 because they're up against Imperial after this game.
That's a real tough game.
So yeah, not the best of futures ahead of them in terms of the level of competition. They would certainly like some easier opposition if possible, but you've got to put the teams that are in front of you sometimes, and in this case, it's only the top 2nd seed in the whole competition.
If you are Legacy, though, you're kind of hoping that there's an upset, because you'd rather them get knocked out in stage 1 than carry on towards stage 2 with a double Elim bracket.
Yeah, that's true. You can't have everything in the world there if you're Legacy.
No, you can't.
At least they'll be in a similar boat as what Imperial are, because they'll be taking on the Dusty Roots Shinden Victor. I can't remember who won that match.
Dusty Roots won that one, yeah, the Argentinian fellas.
So, trying to pray that they do not get upset in their own series. For this context, Elevate and LP themselves are also in a similar boat. 2 squads that are pretty low ranked in terms of the VRS. You mentioned that maybe not so much is fair in the case of Elevate, given how well that they've done recently, although they did have to go for the open qualifier for this competition.
But they got really close to even making a CCT playoffs. I mean, I look at what they were able to achieve in that first cup. They beat Dusty Roots. At Flamingo, I think the third map decided they had some networking issues, had to forfeit there, and they went up against the players. That was a series that final map decider went all rounds in regulation, couldn't quite close it out. You just think if 1 or 2 of those results go differently, they ended up going 2-3 in that Swiss stage, getting yourself into a playoff would have really helped. And they just missed out on the LAN qualification because they got knocked out of a group stage by the Red Cadids recently. But in terms of the off of HLTV markers, I have been quite impressed by their results. And for a squad that brought in, BNC is the new in-game leader, bring in CK Zhao a couple of months ago, and this is kind of the period now, post-player break, where you want to start ramping. You want to start getting good results under your belt, start building up that VRS ranking.
You talk about that Gamers Club unranked event as being one of the markers of some of the teams that are playing from that open qualifier. I mean, Elevate winning Serie A is a perfect example as to where they can lunge forward to, where they can make a good run at. The question is, can they repeat those performances at a higher level? And well, CCT obviously wasn't all that amazing for them, even if it was down to circumstance. The qualifier for Pro League, also a completely different beast to even that. And needless to say, for both of these sides, it's going to be a tough road to make a run. It may well end here on the first day, in the first match for one of them. And right now, Elevate are the ones playing from the back foot. With how back and forth these streaks have been, you kind of imagine that they can answer back, especially with the fast plays of these pistols. It's an eco round, but they're going to try to see if they can steal one back. 1 for 1, 2 for 1, 3 for 1 trades. Zeddy with a decent pick back at the second of the Tech 9. AK in his hands. Pistol close for BNC, then he's going to focus on the backlines, where Leo Monster's going to offer up his head. It's a 2v2 now, and he's done damage towards the next of ZMB. BNC going to try and catch him with U2 in hand, if the timing is correct. BT50 looks to strike, he takes him down. It's down to Hap all alone. A 1v2 is aware of both players' positions, but Elevator playing the stall against the timing here. Hap has only got maybe 10 seconds or so. A kill comes in on the defuse. He looks to stick it. The AK spray is not quite there. Zeddy, he needs to push forward. He needs to get his man now. He's a little bit too late. Oh, what an effort that was for him, but just missed the mark at the very last time.
Well, I feel for Hap. I mean, he's the A-side anchor, and he is doing more than enough. What's going on with the anchors? What's going on with the mid players? Why is everyone just not self-sufficient in rounds that they should do? I mean, right there, we have seen Elevate now twice in the first half do extreme damage on rounds of low investment. And that is just crazy that that round is nearly stolen.
One for one kills out towards mid as Elevate go heavy-handed here in the mid takes, and Lash will work up better for it as he takes the AWP and Misfit down. Hap is forced to fall all the way back into the A-bomb side. Doesn't want to stick around too much longer, but may get cut off from his teammates here. He might have to be the solo defender of both mid, red room, and A. He might even formulate towards a gamble stack. That seems to be the call here for LP.
Just not good enough there for Misfit. First off, he got mollied and it didn't even land. So that should have been the jump where he starts exploiting damage and not even being forced out in the open. Doesn't get a single kill. Hap on the off angle, the edge of the smoke. Might be able to get away with one. Now the round's completely over. Elevate. I'd like to see, when this bomb goes down, a bit of intent to look for the exits. I know that they've lost a player now for BNC, but I just think if they can cripple the economy a little bit more, they can cause themselves to be a bit more of a threat on this T side.
The counterbalance is that they haven't got a lot of cash in reserve right now, so you'd also be risking your own money state. Respect the point, but Elevate have other ideas, other machinations, other playstyles they want to try their hand at. Probably one player around the lurk of Red Room, but doesn't seem like he'll make contact against LP. So there's a slight hunt going on. They're not going to commit their whole force towards it, though.
You've got yourself a position for LP where they tried to fight mid very heavily just because the AWP got caught without any damage. And they just get clotheslined out there from elbow, out towards shelf. They're not seeing many direct A plays, but we're seeing a lot of lane takes from Elevate. And for LP, it looked as if towards the start of this matchup that things were sort of a bit cruisy, right? Not being tested massively, but now at 5-4, I think we've got a proper game on our hands where we're getting more and more gun rounds.
It certainly feels like it right now. It's not a full-on rifle round from themselves. LMB is going to take his rifle and apply it to BNC. Man down the start. HEs will return some time. We got Hap in towards A main, who's going to get caught by Zeddy. And Misfit could get flanked as well from this player, or Leomons I should say, get flanked from this player in from the donut entrance. Just can't quite see him ahead of the smoke. He's going to push forward of it, and the 5-7 does actually catch him off guard. Misfit also worked up towards Temple. He's caught a secondary kill, so it's now there are two men. The bomb being dropped in the open with that.
A lack of patience out there towards Donut. Really need to wait that smoke out. That's an easy force by round steal here for LP. And I think for Elevate, we've certainly seen not the cleanest of Counter-Strike being displayed from them. At times it gets very chaotic, it gets quite gimmicky. Maybe that's something that we should learn to expect across both the first half and the second half on just how they conduct themselves on the server. But when you consider how limited the buy is there, that gets very sloppy. It was a good start from the ramp aggression, but I mean, to fade a smoke like that, you can't get away with that at this level.
Tacticals for Elevate to rethink that kind of approach, because that lost round means that they are no longer able to win the half. Best they can do is 6 apiece. LP will be gunning for an 8-4 advantage. Two Galils, 2 AKs, and a Tech 9 on Elevate's part. Quickly in for Hap, straight out towards elbow. Flash blinded by Lash, gives a very easy kill to his teammate. Diozera started off well. They couldn't recover that rifle, but they're up a man.
Now, Hab's going from the player that was getting a lot of success in the late round on retakes to now the player that's just falling early. We've seen a lot of A attributes from the T side in which they've caught Hap within the first 30 seconds. You now got another one of these rounds where mid is being compromised, lane is being watched by Leo Monster out here to the top of shelf, but it's a defensive play on A. You can bring Brahino out, and you've got ZMB, but with no util between the two of them, there's not much they can do against a site here.
Elevate onto the A site, they'll go. Damage being done to Brunino. Tech 9 of BNC. It's so close to catching him. Turning attention towards ZMB instead. Both him and his teammate taking damage, and they actually do start to fall back on the LP side. And don't have faith in the man disadvantage on the retake. So Elevate will get to number 5 instead.
And not even really putting themselves in exit positions, which is surprising. I mean, knowing that we've only got one more round in the half left and how weak the buy is. I mean, they would have heard the Tech 9s. They know that the buy had to be weak. I think this is a mistake from LP. I think they need to get themselves out towards Donut, out there T-Spawn, Elbow, having 10 of dropping these T-side players, but it's just not to be.
Terrorists win.
Last round in the half. LP quite passive and quick to give up these CT rounds when the going gets tough. Elevate's happy to accept that. Now the full set of rifles for both sides going into the last round of the half. Orp on Misfit, no such big green for Elevate though. CK Zhao may not need it to get the opening pick as he finds his opening kill. It's Diozera that instead finds the headshot. And the start sits with Elevate again.
Yeah, they've done well with these fast plays out in elbow and towards shelf. I mean, ZMB's got himself a little lurk smoke. Spam is slightly off. Ramp aggression is coming. They're waiting for the timing on this, though.
And Hap does find CK Zhao in the end. And BNC, Zeddy, and Diozera do get those trades together. Misfit, now discovered. They know what to do. Hit A. Easiest thing to do. They can't quite hold the defensive. He'll try and look towards mid, which is a mistake to make. Because they will get a bomb down. He's now up for a 4 on retake. 1-on-4 situation, 1-on-3 at this juncture. No one revealed early. Look towards the back lines of that donut entrance. See his man tap up. That is very close though. Round the corner he goes. Round the boxes he'll look to the tap to the back of the head. And it's another 6-all half. Our third one of the day as LP and Elevate go to evens. 6-all means that no squad leads the charge, but LP did have a lead for a little bit. Elevate had to drag them back in. Now they move towards the second half where they look to try a little bit more over the opposition. Pistols are live. Who's going to come out ahead?
Well, you're seeing the Julie set up, but not double Julies. That's a little bit different than what we'd normally expect on a CT pistol. And Zero out there towards Donut, just jiggling on the contact. You've then got the Julies out towards Tree. A very defensive B-line setup. No one in cave directly, no one out on the bomb site. So this very much could just be a 5-on-5 post plant.
Seems to be the call here. HE's to open the smokes as they try and press on, as they try and find some sort of way in, but nothing is presenting as of right now here. Elevate. I'll set some smokes down and try and go for the retake here. You've got players in the back lines watching Misfit. Draws out first blood. BNC is going to get caught, as is Lash, as is Zeddy. CK's out suddenly in a 1 versus 5. Getting 2 picks out of it. Knives coming in. That costs out the life of ZMB. The 13 HP, no kit, no time. And dead to rights on Misfit's part. It will be a lead for the T side of LP.
Well, it's a shame they don't get the knife there, because that extra cash injection could have been lethal going into the next round. Elevate got themselves what I would say was in a comfortable position, right? I know it's a 5-on-5, but they re-smoke cave, they flash themselves out. They just struggle with the trades. They just can't get the close-range duels in their favor. An LP lead by 1. I wonder how much contention we're going to have in the first few rounds, because we're looking at this one with ZK Zhao getting a bit of exit damage to say, right, you can have a D, but everybody else, we're going full USPs. We're trying to get the opening rifles in straight away.
They'll do their best to contest with these pistols, and Misfit will take some deep down damage, so they'll clear out main at least. All this will do is push LP to go to that B bomb site. Misfit still could be in a bit of danger, and indeed he does go down. And no more casualties seems to be on the table here for LP. So that Leo is on 1 point of health. And Galil dropping elsewhere towards the B doors, so not much more to speak of in terms of round potential for this CT side. Hap could get sandwiched. Dio's seen him. CK's out will drop. So what can Dio gain out of this now? An exit on ZMB.
If he gets a kill, he wins a round.
You're right, actually. There's just about enough time here. Headshots gained. Go for the defuse. They're too far away. No, I think actually ZMB can reach him in time.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
No kit. If he had the kit, then it certainly would have been on, but that's the nature of an eco sometimes. It did look like it was plausible. 8 on the board of the LP side. They'll face the rifles of Elevate.
And it makes you ponder the idea that this team, known as Une Mille once upon a time, went over to the Nitro organization, got dropped by them about a month ago. What's the future looking like? I mean, they haven't been signed. They don't even really have a full 5-man lineup. They've really only got a core 3 at this point. You've got Brahino that's standing in. You've now got Misfit that's standing in. Is it the LP just keep playing the VRS tournaments to hope that they can string something together? But it must be a really tough position to be in. Now, just quickly, I want to note, this is what Big do quite consistently at the Tier 1 level, and it's called the double eco from Pistol. So you lose Pistol, you invest nothing, you go into the next, and rather than going to a full buy with rifles, you buy up limited weaponry. So you've got MP9 armor, a little bit of util, but you're protecting yourself for the next gun round while also having enough investment to try and steal it here in round 15.
We start off well with a kill to their name. A trade was found by LP though. Still got insertion points on the CT side, BNC in particular. It's a concerning element for them, Bruno. We'll check that wood cubby corner, so threat neutralized on BNC's part. Lash, currently the only man on the B bomb side directly. Diazero is going to start to move up to try and support him. Hap will do his best to get some kills out as the execution seems to come in. And that SMG will take Hap down, so 3-on-3 is Lash. Lines up a bit of damage and a kill out. The AK picked up by Diazero. Can't quite turn up for the kill though. Zeddy. Here's Misfit planting, pushing through the smoke. Scene one takes him, turns back, Misfit at this kind of range can lose. And Elevate will indeed steal the round.
And not only do Big use it quite a lot in Tier 1, but Furia do as well. And I think that's maybe where some of the local teams look at it and try and bring it down. I will say that in Tier 2 and Tier 3, it's a rarity. We don't see it very often, and it's certainly the first time that we've seen it in this broadcast today. But right there, we see the importance, and I guess you've also got to remember, there's a lot of close angles towards lane, isn't there? It's one of these maps, Ancient, on the CT line, where if you do have MP9s, you can give yourself some really good chances in close range fights. I mean, even in that 1v2, look at how close range walking through the short smoke is against Leo Monster, and then to transfer over against Misfit, which was the planter.
Mid-fights from Elevate seem to go well for them on both sides. One of them out pretty consistently on T side here on CT, drawing our first blood against Leo Monster. There's a broken investment round from LP as well. Can't afford to lose those rifles. Someone better pick it back up. AK and Galil for Brunino and Misfit respectively. Tech9s for the other two at the moment.
Now, you've got the crack angle being held by Diazera out here towards Donut with the smoke. So he's just going to hold the angle, and then as soon as contact comes in, he'll smoke himself off. So he'll smoke off the front side of Donut, and then that will bring the rotation of Lash with the AWP out towards Red Room. And while that's happening, we are not getting any aggression down from B. They've got 3 players on this B bomb site, but they're all being extremely defensive.
Backing away quite far to focus on mid and A, the AWP and the back lines of the B bomb site. Won't be able to see anybody from ramp because no one's coming in from ramp. The smoke's down and short will start to indicate what's happening. Incendiary at the ready for when that bomb tap does come through. Teammates have backed up. HG's coming in, doing no damage. It will stall LP out for now, but they've got plenty of time to plant this bomb. For a kill towards BNC. CK Zal goes down. BNC will fall. Zeddy with 1 frag to return. It's 3 on 3. Low HP for Hap in the front. Brunino in the back gets the kill. Diazera starts moving. Checked at Cave. Hap is picked up. The AWP still watching to provide support. Incendiary's close. Will not drive anybody out of position. ZMB and Brunino peek. The AWP is down. The M4 now knows where both players are at. And neither man looks to move. A reload gets set and he starts to swing. They're both lined up. He isolates 1 kill still and doubles up and all. Another 1v2 for Elevate to go 8-8.
Well, at least they've got the mechanical ability to do so because it is missed. Util again, Jay. We are seeing it in back-to-back best of 3s. Teams just not throwing utility correctly. I mean, right there, that incendiary just does nothing. It doesn't land towards the back of the pillar. It doesn't force anybody out into the open. It just makes it tougher for yourself. It makes that clutch so much more uneasy. But the clutches may be the winning element. Because now you're seeing LP take a tactical. Now, they won't invest... Well, I say they won't invest heavily. They're already forcing down for ZMB. I'm surprised about this one. I know there was only 1 alive, but to me, this is probably pushing it too far. I think this is a risk where you've really got to back the in-game leader and you've got to have faith in him as a caller.
Well, LP... take homage with this risk. These Tech9s and Googles, a Galil out for ZMB. He's already taken a ton of tag damage as the blind fire through the wood walls, getting the 15 points of health. Not ideal for him. Pass that weapon off to someone who has 100 HP and helmet Kevlar. That's Brunino in this case. Misfit's also around if you need him, but LP slow to the uptake off the back of that opening.
And it's a bit surprising to see how slow this round is. Normally when you've got a lot of Tech9s, you like to try and generate quite a bit of pace. Now this is just looking like a fake at the moment. This is to try and get red territory, but what they're really doing is going heavy K for the bomb.
Diazera's caught the kill onto Leo. The start with the Elevate is good. Trying again adjusting to leave only 1 man back in the B bomb side. BNC to see what's happening. Smoke down, prod for a deagle. That does draw attention away from the mid and A stances, but our AWP is still set to watch players coming out of shelf. take a tag to the second player. Albert did find a pick on the first and will fall towards Misfit on that Deagle headshot in the end. So now Brunino will start to bring that bomb around towards the A site. Counter rotates again from Elevate, who could be running a marathon between A and B at the moment. Might have to go back as well. That bomb's not committing, although it's got 20 seconds.
Yeah, they need to get a move on, and they need to go quickly. The slower they run this, the more of the idea you have of just saving.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good kill. I'm not really sure why BNC is so aggressive there on B.
Saw the shadow, still going to get it done for Mars. Even swings from Hap, who once again becomes the difference maker for LP. Brought a clean line in for Brunino to plant back behind the pillar. Misfit tagged with the blind spray. CK's out going to try and look for the pick against the orb. He's baited him. Sees him swinging to the right, gets his kill to a 2v2. Still got Brunino on the bomb site and Hap playing outside of it. Kicks on both remaining CT players. Brunino gets his pick in. The M4 strikes to return. HP advantage over Hap. Got a right idea about him, but he's not certain of it. Taps it once. Back will be turned. He's checking cave, clearing it all out, and the bluff is being called by Hap. Zeddy taps it again, sees him swinging. Shoulder bait, gets a kill together. I think he's just got enough time for it as well. It's a damn close defuse, but it doesn't go his way. LP reclaim the lead.
And that is so poorly played from Elevate. I have no idea why BNC is that aggressive out in Cheetah. Yeah, you can say that he's going to try and drop them on the element of surprise. Why? There is so little time left on the clock. If he's out there on the cave entrance of the bomb site, just jiggling, as soon as he gets contact, he can just fall back. He can go to the wood corner. He can play reverse default. He can get to short. He can get to long. He's got so many options. The idea that you are solo B and aggressive cave like that, I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster, and we saw it unfold right there.
Might be one of those cases where he was already in the corner and getting complacent, not thinking to rotate back. Elevate now. Try and recover with a very broken investment here. The damage has been done by LP time and again, so it's a force buy. Mars being their best weapon. CK's out, going to make good on it with a boost assisted by BNC. It's actually BNC credited with the casualty. An advantage for Elevate.
You've got yourself an aggressive 5-7. Now, this is the kill that's going to change the entire round. Hap needs this to facilitate a path into A.
And he doesn't get anything done. Shut down in an instant. A man who has been the impact guy, 17 deep on LP's part, giving an AK, offering it over to Zeddy. Goes back towards Temple, waiting for teammates to rotate back through red if possible. I mean, they've got smokes down there, so it seems like it's going to get cut off. Might have to concede the bomb plant, assuming this will be checked here by ZMB, and indeed, the Mat 10 does check it. AK back in T-side hands, still a man advantage for Elevate, though.
They need to take space, and they're doing it towards CT. My concern is that Leo Monster is alone right now. He needs to try and get a little bit more help. He needs some support from a teammate.
And Avamo SMG does take him. Teammates around the corner. Meanwhile, there's fights with the BNCs. He takes down ZMB. Misfits being distracted as they can try and hold the whole defuse right here. Lash making noise, putting attention. Misfits so focused on this red player they can get the kill together. Hamas provide covering fire and will secure the kill for it. Elevate. Back to it.
You'd probably have to watch that round back on a demo to see exactly what's happened. But when I consider that CT spawn is being taken by the T side and that they've got players in position to cut rotations at the red room, I'm not really sure how the site player can drop to the A main individuals. The only area that you've got to be focusing is Donut and A main. Like, you don't need to be thinking about Spawn. You don't need to be thinking about Temple. It seems crazy that the A main players just come out straight away and just somehow get a kill instantly. Miscommunication, sloppiness, whatever it comes down to, it's Elevate really being in a position where they probably shouldn't have been able to win that retake as easily as they did.
And they actually reversed the situation because where they were in the broken buy in the previous round, LP have to deal with the exact same circumstances. Broken force buy. Elevate. Try and go to number 10 on the board. Lost bonus really isn't there for LP either, so we'll be looking at quite the turnaround, quite the take of the rest of this game if Elevate get their way. And this game has been anything but simple to assess. The backs and forths, mistakes and awkwardness, all compounded to a dead set even matchup thus far. For Elevate, this is their chance to really surge ahead.
Indeed it is. I think for both teams, they won't be too satisfied with how either the first half or the second half has gone down, but you need to try and put that past you and just win the key rounds. Looking at the economy state, and I'm thinking it's really a tough position here for LP. I mean, not only should this be an 11-9 scoreline, but this should be Elevate just closing out Ancient. Out here, you've got a couple of players working lane in the early portion of the round. Very quick with the lurk smoke. Hap gets an immediate entry.
BNC to fall. Hap taking more damage as LP try and enter around him. The AK has done its work for now, but the T-side players are being responded to. The Orb, USP's pulled out. He's just seen Hap. He's just taking him down. We're in a 3-on-3 now. And a quick shot through the smoke as well. Gets Brunino. And that cuts off all the site presence here. The Bombs are going to start to consider a rotation. Lash is accounting for it. Leo's picked up the AK. He's going to try and fight back. He gets it down to 2v2, but Zeddy takes it to 1, and Misfit's got an M4 of his own. The bomb on site will need to get planted. The tap will reveal where he is. The CTs will move together. Misfit has to fend them both off at the exact same time. The Orb in first. M4 isolated, but Lash quickly gets a wallbang kill, and Elevate will have 10.
What even made Lash go for the spam? I mean, that's the most crazy thing, is that once he gets the first AWP kill, you think, okay, he's just going to sit back there, he's going to wait for the smoke, maybe hold his USP out again, maybe have the AWP just driven. He just goes for a straight spam kill. There's no noise, there's no info, and it's just a clean connection. You don't see that very frequently. Now, right here, as unorthodox as it is, I think the T's need to be force buying. I think you've run out of rounds to work with in this second half. You've been able to get it into a 1v1 clutch scenario. I think you buy it up. You put immediate pressure back on.
Stand to reset the economy stay with loss bonus being at $1,400 for Elevate. But you also would have a buy in the next round if you save these guns, or if you save these this economy state, I should say. I think they think like you do, or at least they're halfway there. Hero AK instead of a full-on force buy. Hap, Misfit, and Brunino with Kevlar. Hap with the rifle.
I don't mind this. There's enough investment behind that. There's some threat in the round. You just need to work it to a good ability. Now, Zeddy is going to be able to block and stall for a lot of time. Rotation is coming out quickly from his teammate at Donut 2. And now, well, the round's just completely over, isn't it?
AK fell quickly. I say that, bro. You said it. Brunino forced out a couple of kills, a couple of rifles to pick up for the LP side. They're lacking in the Kevlar department. ZMB will take some damage to the blind sprays at the Elevate side, but the bomb is on site. Smokes go deeper in towards Donut. BNC can't deny the plant. Yeah, you at least get the cash. Will you get the third kill? Will you get the round itself? LP still on to steal this.
It depends on if it's a lazy clearance out here towards the plat. Brino gets forced out in the open. The trade's not quite there. And for Leo Monzo, might as well save the M4. I'm not even, like, why is he hanging around? I don't know what he's doing there. He doesn't even have any armor. When you're in a 1v3 like that and there's just nothing going for you and the economy's not ideal, I would have just loved for him to just run A main. Just give up.
Well, this was a hero weapon buy. He's still got $2,000 on the flow, plus the incoming $3,200 means that the buy will still come in. Yes, Leo will be limited. You still get all 5 AKs together. That utility from here as an individual is the one key sticking point here for LP, but got a whole lot of flashbangs. Eventually they do actually sacrifice that Galil for the sake of the utility for Leo, so they've got an extra smoke, extra money to play with.
Another fast A player.
Utility coming down from ZMB and Cone. No one's directly on the bomb site to receive it. They might have to just concede the bomb site and try to play for the retake here, Elevates.
Famas doesn't quite get much. Lash again. That's another through smoke kill. And what is going on there from Leo Monster? They've smoked Donut and he's tried to take the space through his own smoke.
Gonna catch the CTs off guard, but the CTs are right behind that smoke, so the body block gave up the casualty and Elevate back up a man, but can they get into the site? Can they get the retake? The backstab from BNC may be important to that factor as Lash catches ZMB. They're down to 2 men now for LP. Hab catches the backstabber. It's onto him to try and really lift the pressure up. Brunino's AK caught off, kill found, transfer back. Triple, he runs out of ammo, and Lash gets a no-scope shot. He knows exactly where the last player is. Scoped in, but he looks to the right as Hap peeks to the left. He will indeed be the difference maker for LP as they do find the steal in the round.
Jeez, there is a lot to try and just get your mind around that last round. Felt like a done deal, didn't it? I think as soon as Leo Monster goes aggressive out there in Donut and gets caught, to me, I'm thinking, oh, look, man advantage. Heavy numbers, plenty of time, and then it's the reverse default angle. I think that position's just so strong in post plants because you can protect yourself from the likes of Donut, protect yourself from Brokey, and just mass damage being done. And now heavy contact towards A main at the start of the round.
Bellamy leans in, BNC goes down, so does Dio. Elevate backhanded in an instant. LP should be able to take us to 11 apiece. It's a 4-spy round as well for Elevate, so they might have to start looking to play for OT again.
You just start thinking about the mindset. Could it be a map stolen? Could it be the unorg squad coming out on top in this first map when we probably should have been wrapped up already? These last few rounds have got a lot of intrigue behind it. Zeddy trying to go aggressive, getting caught by Leo Monster. Funny enough, Jay, even they were teammates last year. They played almost 70 maps together on HLTV. So that would have been a good duel there from Leo Monster against him.
Former teammates turn grave enemies for the day. In this case, it is the LP side. Better above the enemies. CK Zhao can't even get the kill on towards Hap. Can't even take a trade against the AK. Struggling even to this level of HP. Does find his kill in the end, but should will get hunted down. Brunino's close. Misfit in the corner. Loses his life. But LP are on the hunt and Elevate. Even if they say this M4, we're going to be in with a dire buy for the next round.
Yeah, CK Zhao is attempting his very best, but it's just not quite enough. 11-11. And if you are Elevate, I think you go full USPs. Absolutely no investment here in round 23. Protect your economy completely for the last in reg.
I'll be with you there.
I mean, what is 1D gonna do? I'm gonna say that now and then he's gonna get 4K, but $700 when we're looking at this loss bonus when there's nothing around it, I just simply don't get it. I do not see the vision at all.
If CK's out gets a 4K, I'm just gonna leave. Going towards the B site. 4 USPs push in towards the A, play the suicide move. That means the CK's out gonna get a 1v5. LP will get to 12 on their board. They are going hunting for him. They want to take this player down. First contact at Cave, unable to get the shots. Goes down to Bernino, so no casualties for the Eagle in this one. But LP make a casualty out of Elevates, who are now down against the map point. Only a round to it, though. But a chance for LP to steal their opponent's map pick.
So right there, I mean, ZK Zhao could have got, what, an extra incendiary, extra flash, even a kit, and now he's down to just a smoke and a HE. The last thing the cities want with no kits in play in round 24 is a situation where they get forced into a legitimate retake. You want to make sure that you can at least win the round on the outright. Aggressive, out from shelf. Flashes are good. Flashes are everywhere. 1-for-1 trade. ZMB only gets away with one.
And Lash brings in a man advantage. BNC so close to Bruno is walking right past him and into CK Zhao, who gets him next up. LP played into Elevate's hands as Elevate will win the mid control, win the cheetah control, and should well win round number 24 as well. Unless Hap and Misfit pull off something magical. And to their credit, they've got the top frag of the server alive and kicking. But Hap will need to make a miracle happen here.
Well, it's the right way to go around this 2v4. You just got to contact heavy player. You don't want to be throwing any util and giving any info away. The AWP is scaling and just misses the timing. That was even a real overpeak there from the CT.
Fortunately, Misfit missed it. Hap goes down, and Misfit does not get a second chance. So indeed, we're on to overtime, our third of the day, and our second map in a row.
You just got a position for LP where I think they'll be disappointed in themselves, knowing it's your opposition map pick, knowing that you were up by 1. Should have been able to close in regulation. You've gone in for something a lot more aggressive than what you've had in previous rounds. They've normally been quite slow towards elbow and quite passive up there towards lane, but they just try and brute force. And now it's about having the extra rounds and making sure that the job is still completed. The Ancient still does get stolen.
Quickly in the T-side line, flashes forward, seeing those players at Tetris, just the one man being protected at Tetris. ZMB getting picked up, and Hap protects him as well. As Diazero goes down, BNC gets a double, and ZMB answers back to him the same. 2v2, all players separated from each other as CK Zhao goes hunting in mid. He's missed his mark against ZMB. He's got to go back for the bomb here and regroup with Misfit.
Getting really messy with some of these aggro moves, and now for CK Zhao and Lash, they've heard the rotation out from elbow, but they don't know where Misfit is. They don't know if he was a lurk in A main. They don't know if he was a lurk outside of the B doors. So what they're going to do is they're going to hold the shelf line, but it's a great jiggle. Misfit is waiting for the reduel, and he knows that the last player is out there towards shelf.
Lash with an AWP on a retake. Got a kit and a smoke, however. Deal with ZMB, and your opportunities might open up, although that AWP making himself well known. ZMB doesn't get checked all the way. Shot misses from one AWP, connects to the other, and the AK finishes the job.
So just quickly there, Jay, as soon as they know that he is rotating Lash from shelf with the AWP, they get the bomb down after the killing cave, and then they reflash lane from the planner's perspective, and it means that the AWP of Misfit can spot, and as soon as he sees nothing lane, they know that he's cave instantly. So they start getting the molly down, they repause. That's just really good intuition on using util, but also trying to spot for information straight away. Don't give respect, don't give the ability to allow that 1v2 clutch to come in.
LP. 1-for-1 trades, 2-for-1s for Elevate. 2-for-2, the ZMB champs back in. LP storming the B bomb site, but Elevate is set up quickly around the entryway towards it. In fact, Diazero denies the bomb through the wood wall, gets a lot of damage on Hap as well. Denied this time by BNC. Hap needs an incredible clutch here. Perfect head bursts. Already revealed. BNC ends it as we go 13-all.
BNC's been struggling individually. I think finished in regulation with only single digits of 8, but has now been able to get himself out to 11. It's not been easy for the in-game leader to try and put those numbers up. But we're in a state now where 13-13 doesn't feel like there's much in this game. Feels like it's quite touch and go. I mean, even in regulation, both teams weren't getting long and extended streaks. They were only ever getting a few, and then it was always an answer back.
Double AWPs to the T side. Already one's fallen to Lash's part. Elevates. Gunning for number 14. They're a step closer to getting there. BNC doesn't quite lose the fight to Leo. Leo's going to continue to face those. He's going to continue to try and challenge. Take down BNC. Looking for that second man. CK Zhao trades it. Now it's all down to the A presence where Zeddy's the only man to defend here.
You just got to hope that you're not being checked. Even the rotation from the CT individual can come in quite quickly. Who clears this if anybody does at all?
All three are exposed to taking position. Utility coming down. Brunino seen. Orc shot missing. M4 engages 2 players. Third man also known. Brunino's got a war on 3 fronts. And he's going to lose to the second of them. 14-13, Elevate have the half.
Well done there from Zeddy. Just being able to have good trigger discipline. Yeah, the first kill wasn't clean, but transfers over to the second easily and then just doesn't really overpeak, hides behind the boxes, waits for the rotation to come in from spawn to make that duel easier for himself. Elevate may not have been in a position in which they could have closed in regulation, but it seems as if they're getting closer to doing so in overtime.
They still need to get 2 more. The LP have switched to their CT half. Could this prove to be superior for them? It was dead set evens at both halves, 6 apiece. In the first and second, so regulation will give us no indications. All we can do is look at the game being played and see who's the strongest so far. Right now, Lash is the man that's really stepping up for the Elevate side. He's the one of the key difference makers alongside Zeddy. Now even CK Zhao's on 21 frags, so that core 3-pack is truly leading the charge for their side.
And Lash in particular is doing quite well with the big green on the defensive. And so I think that's something to only keep an eye out for on Dust2 and then even Mirage if we have to go for it. What the consistencies is going to look like. He's easily been the better AWPer than Misfit has. Even though it's only 5 kills to the difference. Elevate start off with a fairly defensive line of an overall default. We've only got 2 players coming out towards lane. They're smoking themselves down to get up towards shelf quickly. So this is being heard from ZMB and Cave.
Spraying, praying through the smoke, but not really get anything of damage. Little chips on ZMB and BNC with D0. Now look for Red access. 2 to meet him. Orp also at Donut. 4 players total in these mid-fights. CK Zhao and Dio0. Very quick frags on their part. Dio will drop to Brunino in the end, but with all that attention pulled away towards mid, the B-side's open. Elevate going to realize that and put the bomb down.
And this is where Lash should just hold the cross and knows that rotations are going to come out from CT. So just hold it for as long as possible. He doesn't need to worry about the B doors or worry about shelf because he's already got B and C in that position.
LP are backing up to save their guns. In overtime, down by a man, but now down by 2 rounds. Elevate will look to get to map point, and the exit frags of Misfit will be meaningless here. Cash is such, you lose the AWP anyway. And Elevate now have 2 chances to close out Ancient.
Elevate have had a pretty good structured T-side overall. They've kept it quite basic, hasn't been very gimmicky. Now, LP in particular, I mean, they've been a lot more gimmicky on their T-side. We saw some of the lurk smoke, some of the rush attempts up from B. I think structurally, Elevate are trying to probably play better CS, whereas LP like to keep it a bit more chaotic, a bit more gimmick-heavy. And now you've got the AWP surrounded by the AKs, just fundamentally take lane. They crunch shelf and elbow really nicely in the last round, so you can probably do it again.
Early damage favourable towards the LP as Elevate have been tagged up, BNC and D0 in particular. BNC then a 45 HP. Shots jump face in from one of CK's. Al reveals Brunino, who tries some blind fire on the traces of a second man. Unable to collect any of those kills though. D0 in red. May have to face Misfit. Watching for some red access. Smoke towards Donut. Meanwhile, clears a monster good for one. Only one. Zeddy and CK Zhao traded back. Advantage held by the T side, but only by the man advantage. HP's limited 3-on-3. Misfit turns up with 2 fantastic AWP frags, and now it's HP very limited for Elevate. Down by a man as well, although B site seeming to be the target. Only Brunino can stop them.
ZK Zhao needs a miracle to get this duel against the B-site anchor. 14 HP up against 100. The AK strikes and gives a chance in the round.
Pre-aim towards the side, not expecting the man to be so up close. A 2-on-2 ensues, and LP can't save this time. Need to make it work. Lashes orb, the flashbang doesn't affect him, but pulls the trigger too late. Misfit with the kill. CK Zhao, 2 in the round, 25 in the game, 26 in the game. On for the 4K in the clutch. Flashbanging himself, Morley flashbangs Hap. Hap's been forced to the bomb regardless, though the AK takes the fight, and he loses it. Hap will keep LP in the game.
Well, for Elevate, they just ego themselves out towards Donut. Let's just take a moment to realize how good that red lurk is. Now, you've got a man up. You hear the rotation out from Red Room. Why are they trying to strike Donut so quickly? All they need to do is make a little bit of noise, maybe jiggle ever so slightly, throw some util down. That's the freest kill of all time. As long as distraction's being made at Donut, the red player's getting the kill against Misfit. Instead, Misfit runs towards the Donut from CT, gets a kill, then goes back towards Temple, and then catches the red player. The timing's just been missed.
LP strike through smokes, kill found already on CK Zhao, Diazera and Zele. Look at the HP damage done across their bars. Lash gonna fall down to Leo as well with the wall bang sprays all coming in, all thick and fast. 5-on-3 established, making it 2 with Zele picked up by Misfit. And BNC head turned away from Brunino. Diazera's got nothing. LP say play on.
Well, they trolled big time, and it is going to come back to bite them now. That was a ticket to closing right there in the last round. This one's been an absolute snooze. No competitiveness whatsoever. Getting swarmed from ramp, shelf, out there towards cave. Players are absolutely everywhere. You might be able to get one more pick, but it's not going to be the round victory. 15-15, and if you are LP, this is where you feel like you're the favorites now. All the favoritism was towards the opposition. They should have closed. It hasn't happened. Right, now this is where we put our foot down. This is where we make a statement.
Second overtime. Quickly in from Leo Monster, who's going to get a kill on Diazera. Blind sprays again come up for the CT side of LP. Zeddy's down to 19 and all. Nearly a 2-for-0 trade.
It looks like they're starting to get farmed now, Jay, doesn't it? Just start feeling the vibe change completely. LP searching out from mid. Now, it does mean that A is going to be open for a portion of time, but Misfit's going to slowly start holding it with a big green out from spawn.
Leo leans. Dash forward, engage against BNC. CK Zhao with the trade, finally one back for Elevate. It's coming way too late. CK Zhao trying to peek into the entire T-side. T-side force as well. Lash and his AWP can only do so much. And LP are up.
And for Elevate, I think they need to take their tactical now. I think they, not so much from a tactics perspective, to be able to realign, but just mentally. This is a game that the rounds are starting to end quickly, and you can get caught in that momentum, you can get caught in that bubble quite easily. Not mass AKs being held by the CT line, but it's a change of game. LP have performed at a much higher caliber in these last few rounds in overtime than probably what we saw in the majority of regulation.
And this matchup is starting to get away from them. Even right now, the damage is already staunch against Diazera. 20 HP for him, Elevate. Wrap their way around from the B doors into a different angle of attack. May well be elbow if they want to continue pressing. There's a smoke in the way, so no vision be allowed. Misfit's close with the AWP, though.
And the only way that he gets driven off is a flashbang. If they peek in dry, he'll get one, and he can instantly repos towards Donut.
Misfit shot. Takes Eddie down, ZMB. Takes Lash as well. And these kills are coming in rather easy now for LP. That flashbang ineffective against Leo Monster, who takes his double as Misfit doubles up himself. 17 on the board. Elevate. From the confident style of game, from the excellent start they had. Chance to close wasted now to being on a back foot. Then Mayor give 3 map points to LP instead.
And I'm going to use a term that I very rarely use, Jay, and it's flow state. That is what is going on right now. This is 4 rounds in a row where LP are just feeling it. Pure flow state in the style of game, the confidence to go for some of these duels. We're seeing it with the lane aggro, down from ramp. Even though it's not successful, even though it's only a 1-for-1, it's a mindset change from this LP side.
Leo really picked up to that change. 29 frags, the top fragger of his team, and some very significant impact across this overtime thus far from him. Low HP for the rest of this round though, so it wouldn't surprise me if he goes down to BNC, and indeed that's the case. But Zeddy's fallen towards Hap, out towards the A site, so a 3-on-3 has connected. AK's picked up, Hap's going to try and get back out of the way. Molotov's stand to attention. Misfit rotates back and BNC deals with Hap. Misfit closing on the red room player. The CK Zhao goes down. Brunino will start to set himself up for his own retake positions.
Going in late towards A main. Now this means that Misfit is not going to get a lot of help. He needs to drive distraction, and for BNC, he will get caught napping out here towards A, just on the A main flank because of the position that he's held towards Big Box.
Kill found easy. Lash is all that's left for Elevate. AWP watching Donut. Defuse to get held by the AWPer. Lash will swing. AK fights and Brunino takes him. And it's a clean sweep half. 18-15. Map point for LP.
5 rounds in a row now for LP. This was a 15-13 score for Elevate, in which they have not contested, I would even say, a single round. They've not taken a tactical. They are done. And maybe not just on this map, but in this series. I just look at LP with what they've achieved in these last handful of rounds. It's so different. It's a completely different game than what we saw in regulation. And it doesn't look as if Elevate have any answer whatsoever.
Absolutely not. We had doubts about LP coming into this series because of all the roster changes they've made, and it just seems like that's a non-issue for them. Zeddy's taken the first. CK Zhao right through the wood wall, has sprayed down 2 individuals, so a little bit of luck will give Elevate some life still.
If you are the caller of ZMB, I don't think you need to reset mentally after that round. That is just pure luck, isn't it? Double spam into a double headshot. You very rarely see that one. And for now, what LP just need to do is target not so much the economy, but make sure that mass AKs aren't getting recovered towards lane. Don't get those into the hands of the CTs for the next couple of rounds.
Now they see where Misfit is, they know what's going on. LP. Only 2 players means that they have only 1 option for a boost. Molly's in red will stop Hap from moving. At this point, LP are looking just to claim some lives and not looking to commit towards the bomb site. The round is over, informally so. And Elevate. 1 of 3 rounds required on their lifelines. Keep themselves in this game.
Now for LP, they've got not only the talent of the players, but they've also got the experience. I mean, I look at someone like Leo Monster, I mean, pressing on 750 maps played on HLTV. This is a guy that's grinded hard in the lower divisions in the Brazilian Counter-Strike scene. At least for ZMB, I think we've seen some more opportunities for him, especially when it comes to playing in Europe. He had a couple of good stints out there on Case. So these guys have got what it takes. I mean, even a Misfit. I mean, you and IJ, we saw him when he played out with Solid, it would have been, in Serbia last year when he was playing with the Brazilians there. I know that he's moved around a little bit and he's tried to kind of find a home. He got kicked on Solid. He was most recently on Flamingo. Looks like he's out of that organization too. If he can just come over here and help LP out when they're in trouble, when they don't quite have the players, and push them on in a good tournament run, or maybe even a good next couple of weeks, maybe even next month, perhaps he finds himself a spot on this team.
Fast out for LP.
Bomb is outside B. This is a crazy fake in overtime.
Elevate haven't bought it completely. They've still got a couple of players here to try and look down lane. Brunino hidden inside that corner. Leo Monsters are going to start to back up, and with no present scene of LP, Elevate have no need to rotate elements back. Start working the mid control.
Re-smoke off from Donut means that Lash needs to focus all of his attention out towards Red Room. Now, Leo Monster is scaling. It should, in theory, be an A split here. With the late lurk they've got in A main, with Misfit and Leo Monster targeting the Red Room, the bomb can start transitioning quickly away from lane and into shelf towards Donut.
Lash lands one of Hap. Dio gets caught by Leo, and ZMB strikes on Zeddy. A site now opened. Bomb will look to commit. BNC challenging Leo, gets his kills together. Now the bomb's got to rotate back through Donut, the safer option. Orp in the back of Lash takes down Misfit. Not over just yet. LP, follow they had their linchpin moment. Incendiary centered, MB with 2 to line up, and both go down. BNC will start to make his move, will start to look for his challenges. A 1v2 clutch to take with the Orpa to fall. The second man, known towards the bomb site. Damage done to Brunino, and he waits to swing, gives himself up, and Elevate continue to stay alive.
We're just seeing some pure quality impact from the in-game leaders, both the likes of ZMB and what he was able to do in there at Donut, and then what BNC is able to do on the retake. Now, I remember first half, even transitioning quite late into the second half, he was not posting up many numbers, but that is a hell of a clutch. That's another round where you do feel that LP are going to close it there. I mean, they've got, what, 4 versus 3, A-bomb site completely opened up, easy post plant. Yeah, you're not expecting Elevate to win that retake.
And yet they did. LP can't close this out. This T side has needed 1 out of 3. They've got 1 more chance left. Once again, Bruno's going to start, but BNC trades as Dio Zero gets 2 out towards mid. And Elevate, once again, bounce back. Once again, fight back. Once again, will look against LP's responsives. Dio Zero is down low. Misfits leaning up here. Bomb plant for Hap in a 2 versus 2. The HGs take him. Misfits all alone. Magical moment for him as he shots down Dio Zero. And Lash reveals himself. Footsteps heard. Smoke to the bomb. He will not get tapped. Incendiaries onto Misfit. Technically going to force him out, but Lash laid a trap and he springs it perfectly. We go to another OT.
Oh, right there. You just feel for Misfit that he's played it correctly. He's got himself in a good, tidy position. He gets the Tech 9 out, but rather than going for the kill, he doesn't know that it's a tap. He doesn't know that he's drawn him off of the bomb. So we've now got Elevate that had 2 map points at 15 to 13. We've now had LP with 3 map points being up 18 to 15. And it's an 18-18 game. At some point, this game is going to have to get closed out. You just wonder how many map points it's going to take for either squad.
It's not a bad question at all. If 3 in a row isn't good enough, then what is? LP. We've got Brunino getting caught off guard. ZMBX, he takes his own teammate down. BNC going to keep the advantages rolling as Leo and Dio once again go back and forth. 4-on-2 situation, making it 3 with Haps flanked, but he goes down in red. And Misfit is all alone again. Bomb's not even with him.
And it's surprising that we saw a pretty decent level of success on the T side when it came to regulation, but now that we've got into overtime, just feels as if CT dominance has really come in, that the Ts have struggled to work against some of these aggro duels, work against the multi-frags. And Misfit is just getting nothing. It doesn't have a huge amount of time to work with, but no one's over-peaking, no one's fighting him on the bomb site, no one's fighting him up from shelf. Maybe when this smoke clears, he'll have a chance at 1, so there's the first.
What about the second, though? It's going to go back for that bomb. If he goes towards A right now, then he would have no contention against him. He's going towards mid, though, so this will be information given over towards CK's out. Rotations to come in from the Elevate players. 10 seconds. I think the time stalling has been a little bit too much. CK's out going to get back here towards Donut. Shot Misfit. And Elevate have a lead.
Elevate put themselves in a driving position where not only can they try and hold on to the lead, but if they can do the 3-0, I think that would put even more pressure on basically the favourite squad. LP and Elevate have really not had much between the two of them when it comes to some of the man-up situations. I mean, even look at that 1v3. It feels winnable for a moment, doesn't it? Not a huge amount of time. But maybe we just need to always keep our minds open for just randomness, some steal rounds coming in.
Two kills quickly for Dio0. Third one as well. Hap, Misfit. Again, lone 2 players that remain. And again, against all of Elevate, Dio0, perfect flash timing. Misfit can train him, but he's lost Hap in the meantime. 1v4, no more than that. 20 to 18. And one more round to map point.
Seeing some really good mid sequences from Dio0 in particular. The player that's working Red Room and Donut, a guy that played on MIBR Academy twice, 18 years old. Hasn't had a huge amount of progression, I would say, up his career, but moving out here onto Elevate, been a part of the roster since the start of the year. Making a statement right now on Ancient.
CK's out. Couple of picks in. Trade of Leo Monster. Only man to get anything back. It's been so quickly dismantled on this quick site hit. Elevate exploding into life. And the CT sidedness will not stop at all. Misfit can fight but fail. 21-18. Map point Elevate.
Well, this has got to be, what, 9 CT rounds won in a row? Because we had from the 15-15, 18-15, 18-18, and now 21-18. I can't believe how much of a drought it's been. Just no T rounds from either squad. I'm just having a look. The last T round that was gained was round 28. which was 15-13. Since then, it's been CT rounds only.
So 11 CT rounds in a row. Well, if Elevate can break that streak, it would mean that they will win this map at last. Their own pick in the series has taken quite a while to get here. Just need to remember that they only need one. If they have that one, I can start thinking about Dust2 and Mirage, because those are our second and third maps as appropriate. Dust2 picked in by the LP side, of course. Elevate. We dragged this map out for an hour and a half. NMB leans, fight on the AWP, and the second player tanks damage, but Elevate are down a man.
The frustration when Lash is holding for it, literally in a position where he's waiting for that exact move and still can't capitalize on it. Now even for the lane players, I mean, your in-game leader's low. That's one hell of a shot from CK Zhao. That may just be the response. Now, when does Zeddy start to move? When does he start to activate out here on A? He's probably waiting for a timing, maybe waiting for the elbow players to take contact or a bit more util to follow. I mean, now that the incendiary has come down, he knows that someone is on A directly.
Seeing as that might brought it to a 4 versus 4, but look at the HP bars. That's Elevate's next big concern. AWP on BNC, CK Zhao's 31 HP. Single digits for the big green gun as well. At least BNC is going to try to sell him on some sort of B-site take, but it's not convincing enough here with the players holding directly. The AWP will fire the HE's ascent, and close quarters as NMB can get that pick in. Now the main T-side force has to act, and Hap is so ready for him. 1 pick found, 2 picks found, 3 picks on the lineup, and LP win the round.
It was quite easily telegraphed that that was a fake. Any time with the droppage of the util, you've got to try and throw the first and second smoke quickly. If there's too much time for you throwing the first and then repositioning, throwing the second, it's just too obvious. It just didn't drive any rotations whatsoever. It may have helped if he got a single kill. I think if he gets one with the AWP, then maybe it drives a bit, but just the util alone, nah, not going to do it. Elevate, give themselves at least a second chance.
ZMB gets pushed back towards that Molotov. The damage to CK Zhao is again more staunch on the CT side of things. ZMB to 48 points of health. HE sails right past him. Misfit strikes first on LP side and a second kill as well towards mid. 5 on 3 with no chance to respond again for Elevate.
So now we're looking at 12 CT rounds in a row and about to be 13. This is starting to get quite ridiculous. This is just unheard of. Any map, any half, to have a streak of CT rounds for this long. What is happening?
We should make a whole other map out of these CT rounds. BNC finally gets an answer back, but we're down 2 on 5, so you're really not looking at much more right here. He's on a solo hunt mission. Zenny's on the other side of the map up, looking towards the B-site plant, where you've still got a couple of players that could find him. If that Misfits reposition his AWP, good reads onto the man. The bomb carrier being detected now, drawing attention from the likes of One, and BNC's been seen towards Temple. So Zeddy is now on his own solo mission, a 1v3 clutch solo mission with 23 seconds on the clock. AWP has been heard rotating, can get into the back lines of the B-bomb site. But Misfit seems to have read him and will land the kill. 20 on the board. 1 more to go.
What I'm noticing from Misfit as an AWPer, and this is transpired from both regulation and overtime, feels like he's one of those AWPers that can multi-frag quite highly, and when he does, it's more than just 2. We're often getting 3. That round was even 4 from him. So maybe an AWPer that sort of strives in the chaos, someone that can repeat quite consistently, always kind of put more numbers up again and again and again. And that was a hell of a sequence from him out in Red Room.
Now Storm's damage already towards the Elevate. Just damage on tags. Kills can come in super easy as a result of it. LP, a couple players on the B side defensive. Oh, and the read on Zeddy, so good. ZMB finds the pick. That starts things off well enough. The T's are walking their way through. BNC just got leg shot by the Orpo. Who's the crack angle, the pixel gap towards the ramp. Bombs on site yet to get planted. CT's are repositioning. Haven't got much breathing room in general though, so finally Diozera is going to take some back. 4v4 with his kill.
They just wanted to try and get the AWPer before that bomb goes down. Watch out for the shelf cut the rotation, because Leo Monster's behind him.
ZMB shoulders not been seen. CK's out, trying to read that player in the corner. Does go down to ZMB, but Diozera caught another kill. It's on him and BNC. BNC closer, the AWP. Frag back, flashed off. ZMB is going to extend out towards the man. Dio completely blinded, but still connects his kill. BNC leans forward and transfers between the two. And finally, Elevate have broken the CT streak, got on the 1T round in OT, and secure map 1.
13 CT rounds in a row, and not the 14th when it looked like that retake was coming in. Boy, what a game.
Time I'm up to between Elevate and LP. Dust2 is set to kick off after a marathon of an opening map. They're behind schedule, but maybe we might be able to catch up if Elevate can make it a 2-0. Dwayne, do you think they can make it a 2-0 here and now? Their track record seems to indicate it with the wins.
It does, but not against the strongest of teams. I think it's a likelihood, but probably not that likely. This should still be a 3-mapper affair for me.
Well, Leo's going to kick things off for the LP side as he strikes down on CK Zhao. One man to fall, many more to go. They're going to back away real quick to the Elevate side as well. BNC up close and personal in at the long house will take down Hap, so he'll make it a 4-on-4 instead. Needs to make it 3 with his headshot, and Misfit will trade him back. Leo and co strike out towards short in the meantime. Lash is suddenly the only defender of that long access in the A site. If he got that kill, he would have dropped the bomb, but instead it's a 1v3 for Zeddy. Catching off Leo first, spotting the second man of the headshot. Misfits low. This could be another clutch right here. Elevate would start off with a hell of a pistol if they could do it. If Zeddy could do it. Creeps closer, makes noise. Knows that Misfit's playing somewhere around here, but not exactly sure of where. He can sneak through the smoke, look down towards CT and land his headshot. Shut down the clutch and take the pistol for LP.
Oh, that's probably one of the easiest clutches I think Zeddy could ask for. The idea that you've been able to catch the first player not looking at you, you've had a good shot on the second, and then the last player is so damn low. 100 HP up against 8. You feel as if the CT is going to get the jump on him every single day of the week. That's not an easy round at all there from Misfit. The way that you walk around the smoke, you pre-aim towards the top of the box, and that round had it all. And for LP, it's a good recovery in the end.
You can see the rebuy coming in from Elevate real quick though. SMGs for 3 individuals, and from range they'll fight back and burst quickly to a couple of kills and a half a casualty against Leo Monster. Hap does get 1 on return. CK's out closing in the backstab, but he's lost both his MP9 teammates that were defending long. He's completely open now.
Indeed, and even with the backstab out from long, it's going to take so while for them to initiate that Zeddy almost needs 1. Now, he could get on the jump up. The problem is, does he want to try and make an aggro play happen when he's got no teammates in sight?
Hap goes falling to CK Zhao. Zeddy around the bomb site now, seeing him coming in from short. Takes both of the fights and wins one of them. Gets assistance on the second. Elevate will answer back to the pistol loss.
LP will be frustrated at themselves there. So first off, they lost way too much to the MP9s on first contact. Then eventually, when they trade out pretty effectively, all they've got to do is pack and group, and rather than just getting that bomb down straight away, they start shuffling up, they get towards ramp, they keep scaling, try and get closer towards short. And you get yourself in a position now where you win an excellent clutch from Misfit getting 3 to now what? Being down 1-3? I mean, I'm not really back in this force buy, especially when Leo Monster drops early in the round.
Hell of a shot from Lash, wallbang head. Straight through the mid doorway. Looks like it was an engagement up there, just ahead of suicide. He was looking to lean in for some sort of mid contact. Peek ahead of the barrels, Misfit. They grab that Galil and now take the mantle of the rifle. Only one they have in play for LP in this round. Elevate. They've got their advantage. They don't need to press for any more. Lash may even get some more opportunities here. Misfit seen, not tagged.
Just try and slow him down out there towards short and even give the respect by going back towards spawn. Now this is where B and C can start putting up a bit of a defensive up on the car angle, but they might just have to give the respect to the plant and play the retake with the man up.
I haven't got the control and the necessary portions of the map, or want to risk swinging out that far. As the LP will have dominion over the bomb site. Bomb plant bonuses being little in a force by a situation like this. Misfit caught off by CK Zhao as he was engaging his players towards shore. Happed with one decent deagle shot back, but Zeddy and B and C come up good. Still, ZMB has to do as much as he can, but doesn't hold on to all the casualties here. They'll still maintain the second round on Elevate.
You know, when I look at the Elevate side, there's some impressive numbers in terms of individual performances on Dust2 as of late. You've got ZK Zhao that's averaging a 1.27 rating and Lash at a 1.41. I think we saw some good moments out of both AWPers when it came to map number 1, but I'd like to see what Lash is going to be like on the city side, how active he's going to be, how on the money he is, how aggressive he wants to take a lot of his duels. And right here, we're getting something a little unorthodox. Not a huge amount of damage even being done in that last round, but because there's a bomb plant, they look and take the moment to rebuy again. Now, this is a big risk, because you could be going down 1-4 because of it.
At this point, Elevate would take as much of a scoreline advantage as they can, considering how never truly got away from each other during that overtime. How back and forth we really were on Ancient.
Well, LP will be kicking themselves with 3 map points, so they couldn't win their opposition map pit there.
Yeah, true. Upgrade pistols are prodding out their regular entry points, but nothing really presenting as Elevate. Continue to play as far away from LP as possible, wary of the threats that they've got in play here on the T side. 45 seconds for the hit to come down. You'll see some smokes out towards the long corner, but still through that smoke, CK Zhao is going to find the rifler.
And this is where the 2B players just need to get ready and stall. They need to crossfire off of one another. First contact can come through from Daizera, and then that's when Ziddy can swing from the window.
Oh, good shot for Misfit. Daizera, good for only 1 kill. Misfit trades him, flashbang forward. CK Zhao can take Bruno. Can you see the bomb carrier? Yes, he can. Not ready for the flank on Lash's part. PNC desperate to get that kill towards the B doors, but Misfit's escaped with his life. 7 seconds, the bomb plant will come in just in time. BNC now, no kit for a retake. He's just found one at the doorway, but Misfit domed him with a quadra to his name and a big steal for LP.
Well, it's an absolute shocker of a round from Elevate. I have no idea how they've lost that one. I don't know why the window player is peeking before the player at the door. That's just unnecessary. And it's just such a poor way to play a crossfire there. You consider the advantage they have with not only the weapons, but the kill that they got out towards long. I mean, I don't even sort of break that round down, Jay. Like, how is ZK Zhao getting flashed through the CT smoke? He's just full blind. Is it miscomms? Is it pure awareness? I don't know. There should be no way that He goes through that smoke blinded. He should be going through that smoke with his back turned, and it's an easy kill. Instead, he gets the first one completely blinded, but then he's just so blinded on the second that there's just no way that he could transfer up. That round is free, and that has been completely trolled by Elevate.
Unfortunately so for them. And unfortunately as well, they won't have a whole lot in reserve to reinvest and try and bounce back with that. You can see what the buy looks like already. 3 M4s, but 2 pistols around it. Seen worse buys, but also seen far, far better, and certainly would have been far, far better. But they made some key changes to their approach. Two apiece as a result. You mentioned the 4-1 risk. LP stood to concede had they lost that force buy. There's even more missed opportunity there for Elevate in my eyes.
Well, for LP, they've won, what, 2 out of the past 6 best of 3s on HLTV. You now look at them being a map down in the series with what is essentially a rotating door of a roster. I think as long as they keep the core of ZMB, Leo Monster, and Hap, then they'll be able to kind of push on with where their VRS is, with what the general landscape is in the second half of the year. But, I mean, Brahino, the likes of Misfit, we just don't really know what's going to be occurring over these next few tournaments. And you consider that against an Elevate side who have been together a lot longer, they've been working hard, and they've, I would say, been in better form. I mean, they've won 4 out of their past 6. I think they've been a little bit more consistent as of late. Elevate should be the team to try and close out this series, and LP, I mean, they're just desperate for a win.
We talk about the comparisons of these two sides, and obviously we had both of us picked into Elevate to win the series on the basis of just the fact that they were a team together for longer. Even then, the last map up, you can't deny that LP had the better individual basis. Wasn't quite enough to win the map outright, but you're all right about keeping the core and figuring out what those last few elements are. The question is, what are those last few elements going to end up being? Because even today, right, we weren't 100% certain of who the lineup was going to be until we went live. In fact, prior to this series, I didn't even know that Misfit was going to be playing with the team.
Well, the only reason I knew that BSD wasn't was because Horvey, who I follow on Twitter, tweeted about it last night. I was like, okay, that's where I'm getting the news source from, a coach of a different team in another qualifier.
And it's funny, too, because BSD is still listed on the HLTV page as being part of LP's lineup for this match. So just to show how confusing it is right now for this team and where they stand right now. Less on solid territory and more on a big old pile of sand while it's raining. Still, wet sand of the face can hurt. Elevate experienced that so far today. LP showing a little bit of that as well in that last round still. M4's charging up as Elevate try and get ahead of the curve, and CK's out. Is good to find ZMB. Dive out of the way.
Oh my goodness.
If you spotted that suicide player, not like it matters because Misfit couldn't get up on the boost. Brunino catches Diazera going overly aggressive and doubles up to Zeddy. So, despite Elevate getting away with pretty much blue bloody murder, they're still going to lose the round.
That's crazy, because you just look at that and say Misfit should get the easiest trade of a lifetime out there towards short. At least Brahino's done well in the upper tunnels to limit all of the access from the CTs. If you are the aggressive mid player of Zeke Zhao, though, you've got to be annoyed. I mean, that's an opening kill where you're falling back. And your 2 players on B, they've just let you down. They haven't got a 1-for-1 trade there at all.
Straight up wrecked by one man. Now the B site's open. LP will be aware of that. Plant the bomb. Secure the round. And there definitely won't be a retake from Elevate from here. This is LP's chance to stack on the rounds and claim a significant lead.
Yeah, LP have got to drive themselves into a position where they can start working on their map pool a little bit. Because, again, I kind of look at where they sit at least in the recent times. They pick a lot of Inferno, they pick a little bit of Ancient, Nuke. I'd say Dust2 is probably their maybe even fourth, even fifth option. But when you've got a rotating door of players, when you don't have BSD, when you've got Misfit coming in today, your map pool will change on basically what has been happening in the last few scrims, how you feel on the day. And just try and get more reps under their belt. We know that it's only 3 wins and 3 losses for the team in the last 3 months. And all the ratings do look quite poor. Hap averages a .96, Leo Monster at a .80. ZMB, he's out there at a .93, Brahino at a .87. And Misfit at the moment, 8-2, might be at least the positive shining light.
I was top rated on map 1 as well. You open his hands for this one. Done well to provide the impact for the LP side. Not same could be said for the Riflers on Elevate's part. Diazera picking one up off CK Zhao, who tried to extend towards Longhouse, but the extension is being punished by LP now. The other M4 is back towards the B-bomb site alongside Deddy. And no contact from LP.
But it's a shame that nobody else has got any armor here, because it basically means that that other one's just going to do nothing. The smoke is coming in quite late for Hap. They're allowing ZMB to scale across before that smoke comes in, and he's already spotted the 2 players in spawn. Knows that the M4 is there as well. Elevate, just get nothing out of this round.
No, not at all. Dio will try and hunt down individuals, but back turn as Brunino looks up. And those 2 B individuals will just have to sit pretty and hope to God they don't go down, particularly that M4 of Lash. The LP may well go hunting for that weapon. They know that they saved 2 rifles of the previous. So we'll see whether Zeddy can bait out and keep Lash alive. Oh, they're hearing these footsteps. So Lash is forced to fight, and he loses it.
Zeddy just hoping for one, but it's not to be. 4-2, and the economy is in a position where the rebuy will come up, but no AWP will be able to be invested for Lash. So he'll have to be down towards an M4. I wonder if anyone goes towards a FAMAS or an MP9 to try and get an extra kit, try and get some extra util forward, and yes, BNC decides to go for that move.
Automatics across the board here for Elevate. LP. Quickly in towards the short access. ZMB is the man to lead. The incendiaries and HEs are there to try and block the smoking away from the CT side. Misfit with the crack angle of the AWP towards mid doors, but no one presenting there at Elevate. 4 men total on the A defense.
Well, they want to rotate long, and they've done that while the smoke. They just need to clear out the blue bin, and that's why BNC is hard clearing this right-hand side position. Nobody's there. So because of that, he can basically hold on the edge of the doors, and then everybody else can focus their attention towards short instead. Now, Hap's got no molly, so no way to force out the IGL. It's a good little gamble at the moment. It's a good read here from Elevate.
Still got options to go towards mid for LP, although Smoke's going to cut those options off, and CK Zhao caught a kill onto Leo Monster and gets Misfit as well, the AWPer being negated. And this guy is really starting to become the impact man for Dust2 for Elevate. Started off well with the opening fights, now basically single-handedly winning the round here. LP have 30 seconds to change that narrative.
Well, ZMB is hoping that he can just work one, and while he's done a lot of damage, it's down to 23. And they are out of this round. There is nothing to work with. The bomb will have to come up short, but a player goose and a player ramp, yep, no chance the bomb goes down here.
And BNC will ensure that long is not a point of contention. 10 seconds. Lash is going to wait for as long as he can. The right man going down in the right place will be enough, and Zera is there to ensure that's the case. Bomb dropped at Goose. Hap now hiding back here at short, naded by 2. 11 HP. They do not extend out far enough in time. That'll be 3 for Elevate.
ZK Zhao is underrated in terms of what experience he has. He's 29 years old, started his career on the Imperial and Hummer rosters that sort of were led by ZQKS. Went over towards the Corinthians, most recently played on the Red Canids. So while he's not played at a tier 1 level, he has played at a high level in the local scene. And this is a guy that's generating a lot of what I would say are round-defining plays right now. We saw that in the last, just what he was able to do against the mid-offensive.
I think a lot of people might most notably remember him from his time on Imperial in 2021 when they did attend an S-tier event. IEM Summer. Even if that wasn't exactly the best of showings in terms of their own position, it's their one foray into the tier 1 atmosphere. LP suffering that experience here on this map. LMB suffering on his HP bar, tagged to just over 30 points of health. A lot of work needing to be done if LP want to try and bail themselves out. A-Site will look to be the target. Incendiaries come up, smokes down. Lash's AWP looking to catch off first contact kills. Flashbang's keeping blinded though, and he's just about able to escape the ire of the T-side. Bomb will now look to commit. CT's going to have to concede and respect the bomb plant.
Yeah, CK Zhao just knows, just play retake heavy. We don't have a huge amount of util, but we do have the AWP waiting. And they're expecting a late lurk. They're expecting a short player to be on the drop down.
Nice HE placement of the T side. They're chipping away. These HP bars quite significant. Another great flashbang against the CT side, but they're going to start to move with flashes to their own B0 with one misfit. Brunino, ZMB, they all get kills on the trot. Leo even chimes in, and Lash is not even sure what to do, not even sure how to handle seeing his teammates all drop in sequence. Down in the lockstep, 5-3 for LP. No man stays alive for Elevate.
And this looks promising for LP because Elevate were able to convert one, but didn't keep a lot of players alive. You now respond back. The money's just crippled. There's just hardly anything to work with. So we're looking at a 3-5 deficit that should be 3-6. We're not expecting much development when it comes to this upgraded eco. A couple of kills, absolute most. Maybe a saved-in rifle that can be brought forward into the next round, but not a round steal. So because of that, I would say that LP are in a comfortable position in this first half.
And you're seeing exactly why. Had a lot of faith in them, even in this context, even with Elevate coming out on top of their first map. Here's, of course, LP's own map pick, so understandable that they'd had a lot of confidence in their own right. Minimum 6 about to be taken. Elevate do a lot of resting on their T-side basis to truly try and answer back to anything that might get brought to the table here. A decent eagle damage will be done by the upgrade pistols in this round, but it is an eco. Free AK for BNC though.
And maybe it just comes down to this map and even the finale of winning the anti-force buy rounds or the anti-half buys and what ramifications they have. I mean, we saw from the start here of Dust2, pistol was won by LP, anti-force buy was won by the opposition. It then gets 2-1 up, and there's an unorthodox force buy attempt from LP that probably should have been a bit of a sitter, probably should have been an easy 4-1 start for Elevate, and it ends up going the other way. Since then, it's just been carried on momentum. It's been economy constantly being shut down. BNC can hold on to an AK, so you can save from the investment of, what, 2,100 3 Eagles? It's decent. But I'm looking at these next few gun rounds, and I'm looking at CK Zhao, and I'm thinking, well, where's his support coming from? Because we haven't seen much from Lash in particular.
The guy is providing all the impact on the first map for Elevate. Truly a significant sequence from his own right. Misfits. It's to strike first from LP in his own AWP potential. Lash will try and challenge him later in the round as he was set towards short towards mid, but nobody's there from LP, at least not directly. Fought with CK Zhao and try and find a different approach to the defense.
And just packing and grouping, I like this. You've already got an opening pick. You don't need to leave heavy lurkers. Don't need to catch timings. You've got everyone in a position where they can just scale. You've got Hat playing anti-flash, Brahino doing the same, just in case there's a responsive util from the opposition. I mean, this should just be a save instantly. No one's on the A-bomb side directly. I think you just give it up here if you're Elevate.
And they would agree. It means that LP will win the half at 7-3. Elevate will be hoping that they can turn around at least a recovery of a 7-5 half from this juncture.
It's just not even a contest, and it is such a shame for LP because they should have closed Ancient. When you're up 18-15, you feel as if that's the ticket. It's a done deal. It was 5 rounds in a row from them. They were really starting to fry. Everything was going right, and they just couldn't quite get the job done. And instead, they missed that opportunity of a 2-0 that's appearing now.
They'll be forced into Mirage to close out the series for LP's part of things when it didn't have to be that way. It didn't have to be that long. Didn't have to be that risky as well. LP. At least can respond to their failings by picking up all the picks that they need and picking up all the rounds confidently. Elevate, however, not done with this half just yet. 2 more to go in it, and they've taken a first pick straight down the mid control for Lash. Misfit, first to fall.
Just getting a bit more pace out here from the T side. They know there's a player up there on the short bit. They just can't quite drive him away. Even the molly does not land correctly. ZMB is still somehow burning. He's down to 31 now.
Not sure what happened there. He was burning in the Molotov burst, and then he went down even further. So, take a look at the demo from his perspective. Either way, he's dead as a result of that. CK Zhao with the pick. Him and Lash involved in a 5-on-3 for Elevate's part. 60 seconds left for LP to play in. Mid to B, or mid sort of angle seem to be the pack and group strategy right now. Low HP with Leo. This HE is placed so well against him. No, doesn't connect.
Yeah, Leo's just hoping for anything out here from window, and it's just not coming. ZK Zal does overpeak unnecessarily, and now the B players just need to get ready. There's an incendiary on the car individual, and Zeddy needs to repos when that smoke clears in the upper tunnels.
Leo leans in. Tunnels players act. Zeddy gets picked up. He does get away with half at least. And now Dinazero is moaned about. Molotov against him. Shot missed by Lash and his AWP. Dio's good at least to defend that side for the time being. I think he's just about done enough right there to drop the bomb for Leo to get away. Might even get hunted after time right here. Player in tunnels indeed. He goes down. The money's still well built for the LP side, so it might make a difference. Elevate cling on to a 4th round.
The issue that I have with what I've seen in some of these CT gun rounds is that it takes hero moments to get it over the line. The first one that they won, it was CK Zhao getting, what, 2 out there towards spawn. I'm then looking at the follow-up, and I mean, it's a 5v3 before even the exec comes in, or even a contact play towards B. It's not quite consistent enough. Misfit, waiting for a chance to see if anyone's going to jump face, if anyone's going to get aggressive down there towards lowers. Fairly slow to start. At least Leo Monster evades that HE completely.
LP. Working their way up mid here in the 2nd minute of round 12. HG's open the smokes for CK out to see nothing at all. Wary that there might be presence inside the secondary smoke though, but this is all a ruse. One lurker will work out for Leo. But the other four are going to enter in through the tunnels. You've got Zeddy and Diazera. Diazera checks. Zeddy's gone down a low HP. Needs to find a fight, which he doesn't do so. ZMB's picked him up. Leo Monster still lurking in mid. CK Zao runs right into him with that flash, keeping him blinded. ZMB with another pick to his name. A triple in the round. Brunino to close the last. It's an 8-4 half for LP. Dominant stuff on T side.
And just the overall position and think, where's the comeback coming from? Because I don't see it here.
Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Everybody know we gon' do it like this. Straight from the underground. Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this. Straight from the underground. Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Everybody know we gon' do it like this. Straight from the underground. Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this. Straight from the underground. Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Everybody know we gon' do it like this. Straight from the underground. Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Everybody know we gon' do it like this. Straight from the underground.
My ears are ringing and my eyes are blurred. Feel so absurd. Lost all control and my speech is slurred. I can't find the word. As he turns it, nice headshot.
An 8-4 advantage. Can LP close this one out quicker than it was over on map 1? Can Elevate find themselves a second half resurgence like Galleroys did a little bit earlier on? 4 rounds to make up for the T side.
I've got no faith, no belief whatsoever. I think tactically they were just completely outclassed in the gun rounds out there in the first half. And even reflecting on how the start of that map went down, if it went any differently, I think we'd still get a similar scoreline. Elevate, just they don't look up to trumps here against LP. They look to be the far less superior team in this matchup of Dust2.
LP's own map pick. Expected them to do well, but this might be a little bit too well, honestly. Elevate just not providing. Things might look better on Mirage as the third in the series. That's one small silver lining. It's all about LP missing the chance to make a 2-0 happen, and we could talk the exact same things about Elevate with and how things have gone. They still might hold some life on the second half. The pistol has caught several players napping on the LPA defensive, so be a bomb plant, and certainly not much of a retake of Brinino and Hap.
No, not really. You might even think about saving onto the Kevlar and just force buying in the next instantly. I mean, how much is this 2v4 really going to generate? Long range for the Julies out at long? There's no point even attempting for me.
Well, Hap will prod, but he does think better of it. He does go to save the Kevlar, as you say. And Elevate wants to play on. 5th on the board. And let me tell you, after that first half, it would take quite a massive turnaround to try and win the map from this position. Not just because of the scoreline, but just because of the level of play. The Pistols a start, though, for Elevate. Seeing them buy in whole. LP will respond with a force buy. It could lead us to a single round deficit if Elevate can convert.
Yeah, we saw only last month that Elevate picked Dust2 against MIBR Academy, got themselves a really good 9-3 first half T-side. So we know that their T-side is adequate. I mean, even when you look at the last 3 months across HLTV, they've got a round win percentage of 60.4. And Lash has been able to strike immediately. Hap, the anchor, is going to be furious at that one.
The second time I think he's picked up a scout and got a headshot through the mid door. Or at least one over the first half, right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know
was,
if it was
yeah.
a conversion.
Yeah.
It started off well to eliminate one player from LP's force buy, and with the force buy being what it is, you are looking at that thinking it's a major setback from their circumstances. Forming up mostly towards the A bomb site means it's kind of turning into a gamble right now for LP. Being hit would be the safer option, would be the easiest option, would be the one that guarantees Elevate get to number 6. And with that, LP might just think to gamble on the site and save their guns into what would otherwise be a harsh eco.
And they're not even doing much searching. I mean, they've got no longhouse lurk. They haven't taken any short. But they are smoking mid to B, so it does indicate that they're going to be running into the open bomb site. Easy flash to try and get them into the doors. And if you are LP, you got to just hope that not only do you keep 4 alive, but you don't sort of allow them to build up too much confidence too early on. I think that's probably the worst thing that you could ask for, is winning pistol, winning anti-force buy, winning anti-eco, winning first gun round, winning then the next anti-eco, and then it starts turning into a bit of a tasty round streak where your lead just disappears.
We're talking about missed opportunities for 2-0 for LP's part of things. Start playing into a 2-0 possibility for Elevate might be one of the worst situations to be in. That's all to consider for a future outcome. Still might not necessarily happen. LP again going to keep 4 weapons over 4 pieces of Kevlar. So 2 for the price of 1 on force buys. This round not seeing any investment, the next round will do, but LP still have a decent amount of weaponry. See what kind of damage they can do. If they can find a steal, even better.
You start thinking about some of the other games. Looks like 2Game is going to be able to get the first map against Crew, and then Sharks and Keedstars. We had them, at least the Keedstars, up a little bit earlier on today, and they look like they are getting smashed right now. And I think that's always the difficult nature, is that you can get through the first round, but once you start facing the bigger dogs in the second, that's where the games are going to get a hell of a lot harder.
And the other match in the preliminary round as well, XW7M beating the Champions League, so they're moving on to their matchup later on this evening.
Yeah, that's the one, the X team, the XW7M. That's where BSD's gone over to. So he's joined them with Nekez permanently.
Be taking on Odic later on today.
Yeah, well, that team lost 2 players to 9Z, didn't they? So I think that's what sort of started all of it. All it takes is one team
like
to
a house of
plug.
cards.
It is. It happens very frequently in the local scene. Is all it takes is 1 or 2 players to move, and then there's just an internal shuffle from an entire scene. Elevate
start moving. BNC. can look good. Flash bang on the CT side. Awkward spray struggles do cost CK Zhao's life. They start moving up again to 5-7 right here for Hap. Does well to do damage and a kill, but does lose himself. A 3-on-2 now for Elevate. Start backing away to regroup and re-aggress towards the A site. ZMB's 5-7. Escape with 1 kill if they plant short side. 20 seconds though. It won't be enough to deny the round here. They check Goose anyway, so not even that's a possibility. Elevate now have locked in the round.
It's good clearance there. I think when you consider how low the time is, a 5-7 at close range, if it's a lazy check, if it's not a clearance completely towards Goose, there's a chance that the in-game leader of ZMB wins that by himself. He gets 2 kills, sets up the 1v1, and then Leo Monster comes in for the clutch. But Zeddy makes sure that he clears everything. And he's even a guy that I don't think is too well known to the international landscape. I mean, when you consider that he's played on that W7M roster recently, he has, what, over 400 maps played on HLTV, but just never really had the chance of playing at the higher end of the scene.
Number 7 now for Elevate. They have closed the gap to 1. Chance to upgrade some of those rifles as well into the truer AK, potentially in AWP. Nah, BNC's not going to go for it. We will see it out for Misfit on the LP side though. Misfit hoping for a quick shot through the mid doorways like Lash has taken several times. He's set in suicide and now revealed as well towards the CT side where the smoke ensures that he can get out safely. Misfit player passive starts the defensive. The only mid defender, a 2-1-2 setup for LP.
Elevate have not brought much pace into this round at all. ZK Zhao is very defensive out here at the longhouse. And taking short, you've got ZMB and Misfit that are sort of trading places. The first molly to drive off the AWP on the corner. Flash around it has not sparked much. They have heard the AWP start creating a bit of movement, but no contact just yet.
Elevate. Slow but sure into these mid smokes. Blocked by ZMB. Insinuating to block them away from mid doors. Fortunately, the hit seems to be coming through towards shorts. This is all just a ruse here. That AWP is posted for Misfit though. One of 2 players on double-digit kill counts for the LP side, so he's a major threat. The other one is ZMB. He's also here on the scene.
Watch out for the flashes, because there's only 2 of them, and they're going to have to be perfect. Anytime you've got an AWP that's posted out there towards car, if your flashes aren't on point, then you are going to struggle to get the bomb down. Now, this is going to be a short fake. This is actually a speed split.
Oh, watching. Quick up. Leo and Brunino making their moves. Leo gets steady, and they quickly are overwhelmed. Instantaneous from Elevate, who find a second wind here in the second half. 4 in a row, the gap is closed.
And now you start thinking BNC needs to be a bit more aggressive here. Money situation's pretty decent for the Ts. You want to try and disrupt what the CTs can hold on to. I think there needs to be more intent on hunting, trying to drop at least 1, maybe even 2. And right there, the B players are going to be annoyed at themselves. 2 on B, good positions being held. They need to be going 1 for 1 each. And instead, Leo Monster gets 1, but Rahinho, the stand-in, doesn't get anything. And Elevate make it 8-all. And for LP, this is probably where you come in with a tactical, just to be able to slow the game down a little bit. You were completely in control in that first half, didn't even really get tested in the gun rounds, and now all of a sudden, the scoreline, it's starting to creep up on you.
Can buy back the 2 rifles they lost and try and go back into another rifle buy setup. AWP the AWPs, HG's in. 1 player crossing. Lash takes a shot but doesn't connect it. And Misfit doesn't try and extend out and catch him on a punish. Not that Lash would give him the chance. Bombs on his back, needs to protect it. Still leaning in with utility down to try and gain some mid access here on the Elevate side.
LP just have Misfit just scaling, just searching with the AWP right now. And they've got teammates around him that can be a little bit more active. This AWP watching out for the top mid, can have another breakage of the smoke. And timing looks quite good as there's an individual that gets out there towards the Xbox. Still nothing being seen. ZMB might think about going aggressive though.
Hap holds. 2 around the corner. Flashbangs forward. Their backs are turned towards him. He gets only 1.5 kills though. CK Zhao trades it back. ZMB close to the smoke here on short. He's got a couple of players rotating back, and the AWP can strike from mid. Leo Monster down to 6. The ZMB gets his engagement against both the short access players. Diazera and BNC are down. Now CK's out. Now just Lash alone. He gets 1 AWP responsive, and AK swapped up to Flashbang turned away. No HP for Leo, can go down quickly. 3rd pick isolated. Clutch up available for Elevate to keep the streak running. But is he ready for Brunino? I think he is. He's considering backstep. He's considering he's playing inside of that smoke, but he'll get towards bomb site because he needs that plant desperately. He's just seen him towards long. Plant will come down behind big box. No, he hasn't seen him. Now he must have heard him. The tracers are sounding. The M4 revealing his position. And Lash nearly rifles the spray, but he comes back in for more. And double dips for a 4K to keep the streak running. 5 in a row for Elevate. They have a lead.
Oh, come on. Now we're talking. Lash on the rifle and not on the AWP. Mate, that round was so done. That round was so over. Look at what the in-game leader was able to achieve. ZMB has denied A-split potential. He's dealt with the short players. It's only individuals up there from long. Misfit gets 1. That round has just got nothing in it. Absolutely nothing. And then all of a sudden, a couple of greedy picks, a really good crosshair placement comes through. You do not expect that to be a round victory. And I think that's full shock. I think if you're LP, I don't know how you react after losing that round.
You react with a tactical pause to start things off, but that doesn't guarantee that the round's going to get followed up upon. At least they've got another buy-up, but it's getting weaker and weaker in SMG now for Leo Monster. But what a round to lose. AWP still setting for Misfit. Gonna check for that boost. Lash is not there though. Utility at the ready for the man though. ZMB. And Molotov back, smokes on towards the mid doorways. Misfit. HE's to open. He lands a leg shot on Lash, but doesn't get the kill for it.
Yeah, BNC is waiting for the drive, waiting for the CTs to start over-facing. The spam comes in close, and the back and forth util looks pretty good, especially towards that T-side line. Lash down to 19, Diazera down to 38. Remember last time when they went out long and they got that 1-for-1 trade against Hap? It's going to be a similar nature here for the rifler on the pit lip.
That's Hap and ZMB on the long defensive, joined by Misfit's AWP. Flash forwards, CK's out, first man in, and Hap gets his kill pretty nice and effectively. He does get blinded off soon enough. Known towards pit, quick boss on the BNC. ZMB's called Diazera elsewhere, and Lash able to lash out with a decent AWP frag of his own, but clutch for him in this context might be a little bit too far. Zeddy nearly whisks his kill, but does get traded by ZMB anyway. The bomb on the back of Lash, a 1v3 clutch to maintain dominion over Elevate's 5 in a row. But on his way towards B site, LP start accounting for the rotations, and well, he's pretty much locked out here.
What he's got to hope for now is to not give a free AWP away to the opposition and to drop it down after time. They're going into B. As long as Brainio just sits here at car, yeah, this is over. No way that Lash gets the kill. An absolute freebie. And well done to Hap. It's always difficult being a long player when you're not getting any support. You're out there alone. You're waiting for your teammate to come into the cross. You kind of have to just play pit and survive for as long as possible. He ends up getting 2 pretty clean kills. Elevate. Notice how they did that little flash in case Hap was out there towards the left-hand side corner of the doors. Because of the repos and the off angle, he gives himself a tidy couple.
Yeah, Hap played that as best as you could. Oh, leg shot on Lash this time. Returning fire of that AWP back towards the mid doors. Misfit's going to try and reposition to get ahead of the game here. Mid access taken by him. He's hoping that AWP reveals himself. He's putting utility down there. Misfit is going to burn out. No chance to punish from the lower tunnels individuals. No one's had lower tunnels right now for Elevate. It's Leo instead to strike from upper tunnels, and Zeddy's down.
And now we're in a position, if you are Elevate, where you need to try and work a timing somewhere. And it's happening from Diazera. Now, this is a greed move. He has gone through his own smoke, but it might be one that plays out. Now, he needs to get a good timing from somebody else. He needs a distraction being pulled if he wants to extend this lurk.
Or just a gap abused there. Decent ding down onto ZMB, though. Diazera going to catch him on the reload, but he was exposed only for a moment. That HE gets the kill. We're back to a 4-on-4.
And now they should start excelling. Now they should start generating that pace in towards the B split. They know that they've got the timer on their side. Brahino's down low. This puts a lot of pressure and a lot of emphasis on Leo Monster to try and stay alive for as long as possible.
Still a smoke up. I think it was a recent one. Another resmoke can come down from Brunino as well. Stall out all the time against Elevates. They can't pick up the pace. Might even rethink their strategy here. That bomb's considering a rotation back down to lower tons. AK of Dio tries to challenge, gets pushed back by Incendiaries. Look at Brunino here. Here's them jumping. Here's the util coming. Leo's set in. Molotov's close land inside the smoke. That means Brunino's not going to get cleared here. CK Zal goes falling as BNC drops the bomb. 13 seconds. AWP of Lash. Great as he is, not that good. Misfit closes Dio. And LP are back in control.
It's been a day of missed util. From best of 3 to best of 3, we're seeing it quite commonly in this region of the world. And, well, all that can be said is that you are going to get punished against those top teams. If we see moments like that against your Imperials, against your Legacies, you are just going to get farmed. Right there, the molly just does not land out towards the corner at all. And for Elevate, I wonder if that's their chance disappeared. I wonder if that's their moment now just completely deplenished because, well, they weren't able to convert a round that they really needed.
And now they're really going to put the hammer down on this one. Let them be Misfit, easy pickings against the Ecos. Elevate did well to get as far as they have, but have they run out of steam? And we run out of this round, 11-9 for LP. Elevate's one final buy to fend off the map point and what would be the map win as well with the economy state. One chance. Don't blow it.
Elevate have got the NWP out, but they know to themselves that this is going to be a really tough ask. They generated themselves a good, tasty little round streak of, what, 5 in a row going into the second half, and now it's been an answer back. Lash, seen 2 on the cross, seen 3 come out. But it's about the strike, an opening kill, because there's aggression coming down to the lower tunnels, and it's the in-game leader to start.
ZMB strikes first. Misfits AWP scoped in this smoke on the longhouse. The HE sent a little bit too deep. It does do damage at least. As it fades, it doesn't know who to aim for, so BNC can get the kill. CK's out. You're going to follow up. Hap is still here at the long defensive. Will make it a 3-on-2 for LP's favor. And there's a backstab closing in as well against the bomb carrier. Lash does not understand the danger that he's in, and he's being suppressed even more so by Incendiary. Zeddy's caught a decent kill, but Leo Monster's got the round-winning play right here. AWP. Back turns. Leans in. Spotted. Sprayed. Dead to rights. It's all on Zeddy now.
And now he doesn't even know where Leo Monster is repositioned to. Are they both sitting on the bomb? Has he gone back out there towards T-spawn? You need a miracle. Oh, even the re-smoke. There's just not enough time to work with because you have to wait this smoke out. You have to fight for the control, get the bomb, and then lean towards a bomb site. It's just impossible.
Got a Molotov you can put out there as well. Zeddy jump facing. Swing in. Both players set and ready. And they will close him down. 12-9 map point for LP on the verge of a third. Elevate will have to buy at this stage, but their chances seemingly have slipped out of their fingertips to take Dust2 in this 2-0 series as well.
Well, LP certainly deserved to win Dust2. They were phenomenal in that first half, and even when they were getting tested in the second, they didn't let the pressure get to them. They didn't let the stage of the moment from a map down at a 9-9 scoreline affect them at all. You've got challengers out towards long quite aggressively. ZMB, the in-game leader, charging up top mid. He typically struggles on this map, but individually, he's looked incredible.
Dio0 unable to get the kill on Hap as Elevate charge into the longhouse as a result of that early mid aggression. Misfit misses an AWP shot, giving an opportunity as Elevate take 2 kills off the back of that. SMG, or Galil rather, and Tech 9 kills. Rossetti and BNC, then he's going to follow it up with a second one as well. Bruno close, and BNC detects him through said smoke. So Elevate once again say, play on.
Well, you certainly expected that to be the closure. With the lack of weaponry that was there, this was the golden ticket to be able to get it over the line of a 13-9, not even allowed double digits. But they need to focus up. Now, with where the economy sits, it's important that this AK stays alive just because of the AWP investment that's going to come into the next. They'll have absolutely no problem buying into the next round.
All elements down. to 10. 1 out of 3 map points burned by LP. Elevate. An opportunity opens up again for them. Money's not exactly there for LP in the reserves. Lash on his AWP. Push on, does leg damage to Brunino. Leo's going to get picked up by Dio0, who's entered and elevates instantly. Find what, a third win at this point? 11 on their board. LP saving their weapons for the next buy because they haven't got enough cash to buy for everybody. And Elevate are going to try another overtime.
You've already got CK Zhao that's trying to look for an exit, and you've got the player out in spawn of Zeddy doing the same. This could be promising. There could be exit kills being presented. And Misfit cannot protect his teammate. I tell you, this buy's going to look awful. This buy's going to look really weak for LP. The chances of overtime, I would say, are about 70-75% just with where the money sits.
Thank God Misfit didn't peek. It might not matter though.
They're going
fast. AK kill. Misfit's down. Hap stands alone. They just put that smoke up. They know that he's there. They know that he's somewhere. Blue bin checked. Man down. Oh, that is overwhelming. And look, you got $1,900 of loss bonus alone to buy into this round with. Elevate say they didn't get enough overtime on Ancient.
Well, just knowing that you have 3 map points for LP on map 1, and now you've had 3 map points on Dust2, it doesn't look good. This is meant to be experienced players. This is meant to be guys. It doesn't matter what the iteration is. It doesn't matter who's standing in. You should be able to, from a calling perspective, get yourself over the line. And it's now been back-to-back maps, which has been common failures. I really don't see much room in terms of threat in this round unless they get a bit wild. Now, these are the kind of rounds, Jay, where you start pressing up top mid, don't you? You start going out there towards short. You start being a bit gimmicky. Maybe you double walk upper tunnels. You can't really take long, so that's not really an option, and you can't really sit back. You got to try and set up the M4 for as much damage as possible, but I think this is where you get gimmicky in round 24.
Straight AWPs in from Elevate. And the 4 firing weapons downrange have picked up Misfit in an instant. I think tagged ZMB there. The Fnatic AWPs, as I call them. Destroyed the CT line for the most part. Where do you go from here if you're LP? You get your rifle in the hands of Leo Monster and pray to God he becomes a monster because ZMB can't do anything on 8.
LP do need an absolute miracle, and this is such the right way to play a 5v4 with this kind of buy state.
Yeah.
Pack and group. Don't get caught on the lurks. Don't get caught making hero plays. Simple Counter-Strike. This will always be a round 24 buy.
Only 1 lurker in mid to cut off backline rotations and to support when the A site hit comes through, if anyone comes through tunnels or attacks through mid to get short access. Smokes and mollies sent up. Leo trying to fight back. Nothing's gained. The M4's fallen again. The T's have taken the A site. Only a matter of time before the bomb gets planted. There's no way forward. CK Zhao waiting. Fighting from range against the SMG player and the two pistols. Does lose his life towards Brunino, but there's a whole lot more work to be done.
And now you just start blocking with Util. I mean, look at even that re-smoke that goes out there towards short. It's going to waste so much time off of the clock. Even Hap is thinking about going all the way around towards long with the AK.
SMG at slightly closer quarters with the 5-7 right behind him. Lash watching, seen him. Waits for another chance. The AK looks to strike, gets nothing. And the CTs will follow suit on short as we play on here on Dust2. What should have been a formality for LP goes to overtime.
Well done to Elevate. That's a tough comeback. You were down, what, 4-8? You get yourself a tidy little streak, and then you find yourself in a position where it just doesn't feel as if much is being generated at all. It's a 12-9. It should get closed down quite quickly, and instead you're here. You're fighting on. And right now, you've got to try and give it to LP. You've got to try and make sure that you push on in overtime and close in a 2-0 fashion.
MR3, 12.5k. We've been here several times today, both in this series and the first one. And if trends carry on in Red Cannons versus Flamengo, which is coming up on stream after this one, it should have started about 3 hours ago, but here we are. Elevate. Basis. Coming back here, attempt to attack short. Diazero has been tagged up early to LP's resistance.
You've got Hap that's just maintaining the long position. He's seen nothing. No actions come his way. No Util has either. And for ZMB, it's another re-smoke just to try and block, just to try and stall them out here towards short. Deeper HE. Util usage has been excellent towards this area of the map from the CTs.
I've still got some in reserve, not the HEs, but the Molotovs and the flashbangs they'll utilise against ZMB in for a fight, which he can't win. Look at the damage done to BNC and ZD. Hap even picked up by BNC with a straight headshot, complete whiff of the M4 burst. And LP are out of there. Elevator going to take the lead.
Now for ZMB, there is no denying that that utility usage was perfection. The HE placement was on point. The timage of both the incendiary and the smoke, you can't fault it. Even the flashbang, very common flash out there from Goose, just perfect. Problem is, what is going on with that spray? I mean, seriously, he should be getting 2, maybe even 3 kills. That's not good enough for any player. Oh, such a good position. Such a good lineup for potential, and just gets nothing. And that's where tilt starts coming in. That's when you really start affecting the mental, because he knows that he's so much better than that.
I mean, a shame to let yourself down when you played so incredibly up until this point. I mean, you saw how well LP played in that first half, and you sat there going, I mean, you specifically, Dwayne, was sat there going, you know, I have lost all faith in Elevate, right?
Completely.
LP should have deserved to close this map out. They had map point first. They had 3 map points first. None of them came through, but Elevate fighting back from the back foot, and for LP to have that disastrous of a kind of setup from a guy like ZMB, bit of a shame, especially as he can't follow it up in this round, can't make amends for it in this round. He gets only 1 kill out of the lower tunnels before he's dealt with, and a 3-on-2 ensues for Elevate.
But LP are starting to get desperate, and you could see that by the move. The way that they get Misfit in for a really dry opener, they start charging up towards the lower tunnels. They're trying to get a bit more chaotic, and as of right now, it hasn't worked out too successfully for them. Now, they've got themselves an okay timing, except does it work? I mean, you're clearing out the top mid angle. It could just be a back turn and an easy kill for the AWPer. Yeah, he's gone.
No, he's not. BNC missed it. Is that a whiff now for LP's favour? Well, Brunino can't punish it. How much is so? And he lets them all cross back towards Longhouse. And into long and A side they'll go.
Maybe BNC should not be on the AWP, even if he is on 39 points of health. Misfit's going to have nothing but a spam attempt. And Brahino can come through from long, but you would expect it to be defended. They're still wary of a lurk. They still have an idea that it's not just a whole pack setup.
Incendiary comes close to side, will force BNC back. Still hold the AWP position. And he's just seen one. Brunino giving a little bit too much past that smoke. Misfit can take down one. The BNC still looking aggressive just beyond that smoke. Misfit swapping to an M4. Jump up will be hard, and BNC does connect it in the end. 14-12. Elevate are really beginning to make good on this comeback.
Well, just say it right here and right now. Not closing the 3 map points on map 1 and then not closing on 3 map points on map 2, that disbands an unorged team. Like that's the kind of thing that just destroys LP. That's the scenario that just kills this team in one tournament. They have to make sure they play on. They have to convert Dust2. They can't go down like this.
Oh, Lash has got other plans though. Look at how many times he's hit mid-door shots. The 2 heads with the scout. Multiple times this orb landing tags on Brunino and co. He's on 8 points of health to start the round. Elevate in full control of this once again. At least ZMB's taking 1 kill to respond back and taking some of that control away from the Elevate side. CK Zhao down. But Lash is ready for more.
And this, from Elevate's perspective, is the first time in a very long time that they've been tested with an opening casualty. Misfit. And not being driven off of this angle by any sort of smoke at CT, by any flashbang. They're just packing and grouping. And I think we're seeing this quite regularly in overtime and in the latter points of regulation. How much Elevate just are quite happy to group as a whole unit.
Flash forward, Deer Zero seen 1. HE's evading the majority of the damage. He tucks in towards Gandalf, keeping himself tucked away. There's nobody at ramp. The bomb plant can come down without contention. The retake is a little bit shaky for LP. They might be up 5-on-4, but they've got double orbs for a retake and just HP damage across the board. Happy even taking more of it. Molotovs towards Leo. He's going to burn even more significantly. HE's back against Lash. Incendiaries against him. He's going to have to force his way back out, but the HE lands on Leo. He's on 11 points of health. 4v4. Meanwhile, towards Long, and Leo is going to be able to deal with one of the Misfit. Falls towards Lash on short. We're down to 2 men on LP. Brunino revealed and dead to the rifler. ZMB is out of time. He'll get 1 kill, but a bomb's planted short side. All he can do is tap and pray. Caught switching to the AK. He's down and out. 15-12. Map and match point for Elevate.
6 rounds in a row from Elevate. This has been a proper throw. This has been a proper troll of map points and advantages. Oh, man. I can't believe LP have let this slip. And the only person they can blame are themselves, aren't they?
Yep.
I mean, that's the only way it goes down on both Ancient and on Dust2. Oh, they can't drag themselves out of this hole. It's just that's it. I think they're gone.
I would think so too. Misfit and Dio go back and forth with their AWP picks. Lash, first victim of the round. LP are desperate. Completely and absolutely desperate to catch Elevate off, and maybe these extensions towards Long are going to give them the lifeline that they need because they've lost them out of advantage. Dio, low HP, forced to fight, takes 1. Hap can take him right back. And that bomb's still in the Long house. Needs to get picked up by the T-side line. Misfit not aware of the flank that's inbound towards short. Now seen by that M4 player trying to shoulder bait out of shots. Misfit connects it. And Zeddy can take that player down, but now he's been revealed. That bomb will have to commit towards the B side because Brunino has it on lock.
Yeah, Zeddy, the only way that he can win this is if he somehow gets some good timings against the B player that's overextending, because they're trying to protect the the bomb on the carrier to come over. I mean, might as well attempt it. There's definitely no reason of saving this 1v2.
He's picked an angle to hold, hoping that they try and regress towards short, but it's not happening. Hap sat behind the truck in at mid, will deal with his man. Elevate streak will end at 6. 1 out of 3 map points burned. Second one up for grabs.
And for LP, they've got themselves a good long spawn for the AWPer. So I think ZMB right now is going to run long. Maybe get a teammate to try and back him up with some flashes. LP are running the double AWPs on the T side, and they're trying to run them consistently to the start.
Crossing shots, lash is a good idea by the suicide individual. Zeddy's alone here, but the smoke is cancelled. Good to do so as well, because you saw LP were ready to go towards the B site. Had they done so, I'd imagine we'd be going 14-15. Lash. Holding the short angle, Leo's taking damage in mid.
It's a good cancel from the T side because of the counter util. HE placement out there towards the Xbox is doing further chip towards Leo Monster. He's a running decoy now. There's nothing that he's going to be able to do. Now, this off angle at the top of the blue bin has not been held in the entirety of this map, both in regulation or in overtime for either squad. So if there is any long take, I think that could be an element of surprise for BNC to get a free kill.
Doesn't know that there's going to be one here from LP. However, they're focused on that B side once again, this time with 2 defenders. Utility sent towards mid. There could be a split play in from Hap and Co, but Dio0 deals on the main force. The bomb's been dropped. Rotations can get called in. Zeddy now has to watch out from the mid access. They didn't call in the footstep noise, so Hap's going down. Leo's going down as well. And Zeddy and Dio will have this site on lock for all 5 alive. 16-13 and 2-0. They move forward to the second round. LP are eliminated from the South American ESL Pro League qualifier.
A fair play to Elevate. This is now winning 5 out of their past 7 best of 3s on HLTV. They were smashing teams